Hello! Greetings and welcome to you, brave citizens of our new world. It's me, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat, coming to you live from the Lair 4.0 once again this evening as your kind and benevolent, hopefully, DM, playing ourselves another game of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons with our A-team here. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Going down the list of our wonderful, beautiful players that we've got here with us today. Big energy, big beautiful energy that they bring in for all their characters. We of course got a Cassie D20 Love Chu playing Siases Blueleaf, our Banshee Bard.
Well, it's me. Hi, everybody.
It's you. Yeah. And of course, coming up next, we've got Spooty Poots playing Envrail Olo, our Yuan Ti character, who some have discovered is a paladin.
And I'm also streaming.
And also, that's right. Yeah, Spoots is also streaming over on her channel. If you guys want to check that out, look up Spooty Poots on Twitch. And up next, we've got our one Casey, the killing chick, playing Floop, our druid, who is a grung, a little frog person.
Surface moss. Wow.
Surface
What a
boss.
time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. And of course, coming up next, we've got our boy, the Warden, coming in playing Keeper, our Thrycreen monk.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom. And last but certainly not least, we've got Shaskar playing Zax Triar, our Artificer Goblin.
It ain't easy being green.
What a time to be alive. Oh,
I have
God,
found
I'm
it
gonna
is
miss
no
doing
more
this
difficult
characters.
being green than any other character.
Yeah. Being every color appears to be equally difficult, at least down in our kingdom. So, to catch everybody up, just recently, the A-team not only had overcome the challenges of the arena within the Underkingdom of Autometh, sort of a sanctuary, a home for all of the monstrous races of the continent of Immeron. They had not only won over some of the challenges in the arena, but were then sort of given the sponsorship of the kingdom to go to the surface to make their way from the gates of Autometh down into the ruins of Oron, to both see what's going on down there and to potentially overcome some of the challenges or find whatever it is that's creating a considerable amount of demonic corruption. It seems to have overtaken that corner of the continent proper. So, upon exiting said gates, you now find yourselves in the strange wasteland, the monstrous wastes of the north. The land itself around you appears to be long since dead. There are jagged rock outcroppings making their way up out of the ground, and a sort of gray dust or sand covers most of the territory around you. It is relatively difficult for you to kind of get a handle on exactly what it is that happened here or went on that blighted the land in such a way, but you do find that there is somewhat of a makeshift path that heads to the south and east of your current location.
Well, upon seeing such that kind of scenery, Floop is sad, le big sad.
La big sad.
This is not what I expected.
Yeah. Yes. That's kind of how I felt too the first time.
Zax climbs up on his mount and tries to get like a better view of everything, but honestly, he's only going up to like maybe the shoulder of N.
If that.
If
And-
even possible.
How tall is N?
Right now,
Big
about
snake
8
lady.
feet tall.
8 feet?
About 8 feet. Yeah.
What about 9 feet 6 inches? What do we?
Yeah, 9 feet. 6 inches. No, 9 feet 7 inches.
7 inches. Oh!
Oh!
Gonna do one better than the tall lady. But yeah, the sky seems to be perpetually overcast, despite the fact that the air that blows past you is arid and dry. And yeah, Cassie, you like Siases has been to the surface before, so you do recognize this space. And what it's like up here.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard what this is called, but I had no idea.
It looks pretty
Oh
bleak.
boy, I need to gather some seeds.
What happened here?
I'm
Uh,
not
I lean
exactly
down and-
sure.
I bend over and kind of run the tip of my hands through the sand just to kind of get a feel for it.
Go like putting your hands through it, just sort of like running your fingers along. It's somewhere. The texture is somewhere between sand and ashes.
I rub some between the tips of my claws and let it kind of fall to the ground. And then I kind of dust it off on my cloak.
Yeah, the little bits of the wasteland sort of trickle out between your fingers, getting caught, and sort of the errant, arid breeze as it sort of takes it away from you. The material appears to be strangely light for sand.
I kind of take note of Keeper doing this, and then thinking a moment, I climb down from my my spider mount and make a try to see how well of a boot print my shoe actually makes in this soil.
Yeah, roll me investigation. Actually, that's a good point. Anybody that wants to sort of like investigate or examine the wasteland itself, roll me an investigation. I'll see what I can tell you guys.
I'm not even gonna bother rolling.
It's fine.
I'm just gonna look on the horizon to see, like, look for, like, if I can see any, like, settlements or anything like that out in the distance from our vantage point.
Yeah, roll me perception.
I'd rather just do it passively. What? Here we go.
Yep. Because you have like insane perception. Yeah, it's a 20.
Yeah.
So
That's my passive perception.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
shit!
fuck, and then a 22. So Zax and Syces with it was sort of a 13 and a 10 in investigation. You've not, like, at least to memory, you've never seen this happen to land before. Despite the fact that there's such a large section of the continent that is such a way, how it could have gotten like this is still largely a mystery. Sticking your boot down into it, it does leave a pretty distinct track as you pull your foot away, because like the sand, the texture seems to be like that mixture of sort of sand and dust and ashes that really does leave impressions when you put your boot on it. But observing it for a few more seconds, you see that the wind kind of pushes a little bit of the surrounding wasteland back into the boot print, and it begins to vanish at a speed that leads you to believe that over the next few minutes your tracks might just disappear entirely, at least to the untrained eye. Sort of turning over what you've got in front of you, like even a small rock, if you pick it up and sort of turn it over in your fingers, you find that it crumbles relatively easy into more of this dust and ash. Looking out over the horizon, and you don't see any other settlements from where you're standing at the gates. If there are other denizens of the monstrous wasteland, which you would have known that there are some monsters who choose to live in this space that sort of turn against the welcoming doors of the Kingdom of Autometh, many believing that it is a place where people go and then disappear. Ed's going to come back in a second. Because that's Floop. Floop's got to come back because they got to wash their hands. That's fine. We'll get to Floop in a hot second. But yeah, looking out, you don't see anything out there. If there are people up here, and you know there are, they're nowhere near these gates.
Yeah.
You don't even see tracks looking out. Like there is that sort of makeshift path that heads in the southeastern direction, but there doesn't appear to be any kind of tracks that you can visibly see on the path or otherwise.
And we've left tracks on the way out, right? Like just through the ashes and whatnot?
Yeah, like stepping out, you can see that you've left your tracks there, but once again, like you do notice that like as the moments pass, to the untrained eye, these tracks would disappear within moments.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it appears that regardless of many efforts, any traces of life that exist up here would slowly be washed away.
Zax picks up what looks like a rock and hucks it into the distance.
You're just gonna like whip it.
Yep.
Some of the rock, as you throw it into the distance, crumbles in your hand. But what's left of it sort of gets like a halfway decent arc. It certainly is a lot lighter when you pick it up than you would expect a stone of that size to be. Almost as if the stone itself was hollow. Whipping it into the distance, it kind of goes and then piffs into the ground and puffs into a little cloud.
Alright,
Could I
so-
try and like use my key, like as a to try and get a sense of how like I've had the life in the area, you know, like.
Yeah, if you want to try to like open your third eye in a sense, like using your training and your meditation to sort of like reach out,
Yeah.
to
I'll do-
see if you can get a feel for what's around you. Like, yeah, give me. I'm gonna say
Sure.
that's like a perception. 26.
Ooh, double
Um,
26.
He has two 26s. 'Cause well, without advantage, so we're just gonna take the one that's on the
Sort of
left.
in a similar
Um,
vein to how I could feel the stone and life of my temple and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Sort of, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see what kind of a sense I get from the stones
yeah.
or the, you know.
You don't necessarily have eyelids, so closing your eyes isn't necessarily the words that you would use for doing that sort of thing, but you, in a sense, sort of like turn your senses inward and then reach out with your mind to see if you can't get a feeling of to the life in your surroundings, and are surprisingly met with nothing. Less than so. Like, you would imagine that, like, even a desert has life with cacti and insects and vultures, but
Yeah.
it appears that anything, at least within the range of your senses, appears to be devoid of life around you. Like, there aren't
Seems like
even
we-
insects around here, like
Sends
no
it- sends
mosquitoes,
it-
gnats.
I gotta chill down my antenna. Like, I haven't felt anything like this before.
Yeah.
I do not like it here.
I turn to Keeper. What's wrong?
There's no life that I can feel. There's no. I don't know what your culture would possibly describe it as, but my culture describes it as ki. It's the energy of life itself. Like,
I agree. This place
it
looks
exists. It exists in everything, but I'm getting nothing from this place.
dead. Seems we've reached an ecological dead zone.
If preferable, I would like to get moving sooner
Yeah.
rather than later.
Is Flute
Yeah,
back?
Yeah, I need flute.
Casey, you back from washing your hands?
Doesn't sound like it.
Does sound like
Alright.
it.
I don't like it.
That's okay. We'll just wait a half second.
I turn to Cyaces and say, "Do you know of any places that are nearby? Like, what are the closest places nearby? Because I don't see any on the horizon."
It will take a little bit of traveling to get there, but there will be places that are a little more alive than this. Yes.
Oh,
Flute,
Flip is
do
back.
you have a map? Do you have a map of this place?
Do I have a map?
No, I'm asking Flute.
Oh, just
Yes,
look up
I
map
took
of
the
this
time
place.
to have a map of the place. Well,
There you go.
mainly.
Yeah, you have like a rough idea of the map of the wastes here and some of the continent as well that you've sort of sketched down from the maps that you found within the kingdom's archives.
Yep. With my investigation chest, I was trying to prod around the ground to see if something would look close as to something that is like soil.
Yeah. So with your investigation of 22, as you sort of like, dig around with your hands into the ground underneath you, it is just more dirt, rather more waste underneath it, more sand and ashy sort of caked up clay even. At least from your knowledge as a druid from growing things and whatnot, you know that you've never seen anything like this. This is a land that is almost entirely devoid of life.
Crap. I'll
Yeah.
search a bit better another time. There
Um,
must be a way. There must be a place where I can plant here.
Well, Flute, can I see the map that you have?
I
Yeah. And I hand her the map.
I would advise planting anything here in this area. It doesn't have, like, the energy is not right.
Yeah.
Anything you plant here will surely die without any life energy. There's nothing to sustain it. No water. No light. No nutrients.
You'd be surprised at
Well.
how far magic gets it. I say as I'm like kind of like I say pass like in passing while I'm like looking over the
Looking over the map. Yeah, you see from where you're standing at the gates, like if you kind of travel in a sort of south by southwest or south by southeast direction, you'll hit the woods and you'll be avoiding some of the larger cities.
Yeah, I just pulled up the Imran map because you said that was like the rough map that she got.
Does the map have a compass rose on it?
It does, and the original map had one in the bottom left-hand corner.
Okay.
There was sort of a
So-
compass rose.
I'm going to assume that when Floop copied down the maps, she was
Oh yeah,
also
I
copied
yeah.
that.
I copied.
Just
I
for saying
copied
these.
those.
Just yeah, so that we got.
Yeah, I'm holding it fucking sideways.
So
Where?
Zax climbs back up onto his mount and takes his cloak out of his bag, and starts kind of like gives a nervous look around and then starts tracing on it, almost knitting with some of his tools.
Oh yeah.
Keeper goes and moves around to take a look at the map as well, like kind of behind them.
Oh yeah, I hand it off to Keeper. And
I
into the
look out.
west.
I make note for an island off the west coast, and I point at it, and I kind of turn the map to Floop and
The west coast.
there's an island here. This is where I need to go.
So showing people the map that you guys are looking at. You guys are once again up at the gates there, and he is referencing to the island
That
off
mountain.
that way.
Yeah.
I kind of trace it with my finger and
The one
point
with
at
the
it.
volcano.
If the volcano's copied on the map, then yes.
I'm assuming that this is a vague one-to-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
big. Like you would know that there's definitely some settlements and other smaller places that aren't on the map.
It would appear so, yes. This is where I can apparently find information on the history of my people.
Interesting.
If we
I know.
really want to play it safe, we would avoid the two central villages.
I am far too angry at humans and elves right now to go anywhere near any of their settlements for fear of their safety. So yeah,
I meant as
Fair.
those two middle settlements right before the big city are focused on military training. So
good to
we
know.
have to avoid these places if we don't want to get clapped.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. We must assume most civilizations are hostile up here.
Is there anywhere else other people wanted to go before we make it to my homeland? I look around at like Zax and Cyaces and then Floop.
Zax looks up from his from tracing his tools along his cloak, and shakes his head. I've got nowhere specific that I want to go.
I kind
You
of
were
trace.
interested in information though.
I was interested in information, but I have no idea where up here I could get that kind of information.
You could probably get a lot of it from Keeper's people.
Probably so.
That's two for Keeper's folks. What about
That's a place for me to visit at least.
I do not know what I expect to find there. It has been many, many, many generations since my kind were on the surface.
Hmm.
We are not a long-lived species, so I do not know. But I do not know what I expect to find. But I know that that is where I must go to try and find what I can.
Mm-hmm.
Then I look back at Sices and Floop.
Well, I am very curious about that sunken place at the
There,
bottom of the
donated
map.
100 Canadian dollars.
But it's more out of curiosity than need, so I'm ready to follow you in Oron.
So just as a quick note, though, before we continue, we just got a big donation from Palanthir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Catching us up to 220 with a donation of $100. Thank you so much,
Wow.
Palanthir.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you, my God.
Also,
Thank
I'm gonna
you so
now
much.
plug that I do character art commissions.
I took
Hey,
care of
I do
commissions.
commissions too, okay?
Sorry. So
Yeah,
back to where we were.
Sices then.
I am mostly here to assist you and assist the king in his endeavors. So I'm here at your service. So wherever we need to go, I am here to help.
You have no other business that you need to do out in the surface other than this?
Not whatever information I may happen past, that is okay with me.
All right. Well then, if it's any.
Oh, that does remind me. Just as a quick update, because Sices was asking, or rather Cassie was asking about this just before the game. This was the town.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know.
Cool. Yep, that makes sense.
So, as I, for one, have never been outside of Autometh in my entire life, I think that our first stop should be, our first goal should be towards that island out to the west there, and I point out to the map. We can go along. If this depiction of this map is correct, there looks like there is a path through the mountains on the west coast, and from there we could probably get down to boats.
We
Or
might be,
make boats.
if we hit the coast, we might be able to travel along the coastline and avoid having to go through the mountains. But we are more likely to run into civilizations there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I start trailing down. I was thinking that we would take a path. I can draw this. Oh, yeah, I can.
You can, or you could do a map pings.
Yeah, you can just
We would
like freehand be
It's
like,
kind of a route.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's to indicate where she's pointing her
Oh.
fingers along the map.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pointing. I draw my finger along the map in that direction from Autometh to this point. It looks
that's-
like there is a point between the mountains right here.
From what you remember, Floop, from drawing this map, there is no such gap there. That
Okay.
you could indeed go through the mountains. Like you don't have to try to find like an easier path through, but you can travel through the wasteland until you hit the coast, and that would put you pretty much on the edge of the water. There may or may not be other settlements of people that could be there. You could travel through the woods and try to make your way through the mountains. There is also a dwarven settlement known as Vrelgakal, which not only has a path through the mountains, but also access to ships.
I recall that information being pertinent when I looked up information on the Living Mountains and my people. I recall the Dwarven settlement being mentioned. There should be a settlement of dwarves somewhere in those mountains. I do not know if they are friendly or towards our kind or not.
From what I've
Mhm.
heard, I'm pretty sure they're very not friendly towards my kind.
The dwarves.
Dwarves.
Yeah.
I
This is all
assume
no
that
concern.
I'm on paper. I'm going to assume that absolutely everybody we see on the surface is going to want to either run away from us and get somebody to hurt us or hurt us themselves.
This is a fair assumption. However, most of the stories I've heard have been about humans and elves. I have not heard very much about the reputation of the dwarves of the surface.
I don't personally know many other races. But for safety's sake, I'm going to assume that everybody wants to kill me so that I can prepare myself for that inevitability. That does not mean I'm going to attack everybody that I see, but it does mean that I'm going to defend myself.
Of course. We will defend ourselves as necessary.
Yeah. And I'm
But-
going to not trust anybody outside of our group. I'm not entirely trustworthy of all of you as it stands. Just being honest. But you're better than no one.
I would at least hope that the reputation of my order has lightened your worries towards me, at least somewhat.
It has. It has. And I'm not concerned about whether or not you fellows are going to turn on me. I'm concerned about whether or not you fellows are going to be able to keep me alive.
Just
Unfortunately-
crosses her arms and looks at her. Would you like me to summon Mr. Carrots again?
No, you don't need to summon Mr. Carrots again. No.
Good.
All right. So we're going through the forest, right? And she completely bypasses.
I mean, it shouldn't be much of an issue for me to travel through the mountains, but I worry about the rest of you can't jump as high.
Doc,
Mhm.
when I went with the other group through the forest,
Mhm.
it was an interesting time.
Yeah.
Correct.
It was.
Your character would remember what your character remembers.
Yep. Do I remember whether or not that affected the entire forest, or would I have the sense that
It was
affected
affecting the entire forest, but you were, even though you as a player were not present, the character Sices was present when you guys took out the temple that seemed to have been causing a great deal of the corruption in the woods. And since then, the sort of like sickness that laid upon those trees has lifted.
Okay. So that
is one
no
problem
longer
removed
an
from those
issue.
woods.
Okay. All right then.
I still think we should go through the wastelands and pass over. And she just draws with her finger.
Mm-hmm. I scrooge down to be able to see the map.
Big lean.
But I hold it high enough for you tall people to see.
Zax has to stand up on his mount in order to see as she's lifting
Both,
it up.
Why?
both options are good.
Why do
Yeah.
you suggest this option?
How do I erase?
If you click on the line, it'll select it, and then you just press
Yeah,
delete.
with the selection.
Whoops. What's that there? There we go.
There we go. It's like a tiny little dot.
Yeah, if you click the cursor and then click on it and press delete. Anyway, why do you suggest this this path instead?
There is a lot more. It's more easy to view to see in front of us, and I think it would be less likely that we are being ambushed in a forest. Traps can be everywhere. People can camouflage.
Now that's true, but that's also true for them.
To be fair, though, it wouldn't be all that hard to hide in this. And Zax waves his hands about the wasteland and set traps. I mean, all someone would have to do would be bury themselves, make themselves gray, and just lie in wait, and then just pop.
Can
One
you do
thing
that?
to consider,
You're talking about.
I can do those things. I don't want to right now. It's very dusty.
do you have a way of getting us across the water? Because that is another thing we need to take into consideration. I have not yet mastered the ability to run across the surfaces of vast amounts of water yet. So
I
we
mean,
will probably...
I have no problem breathing underwater.
Loop is okay. I imagine the Banshee is probably okay for breathing underwater.
I have never swum before.
I have some spell that can allow you guys to breathe underwater for a limited period of time, but I would need to rest right after.
Well, that helps.
Resting is doable.
We
We
would
will
have
rest
to,
as necessary.
if we were to take that route, the idea of crossing the channel, with water breathing up, it would have to be cast at the edge, and we'd have to make like a mad dash across the way. I don't know exactly how big this is, but the fact that I can't see the markers on the map from here means it's pretty big.
Yeah, I imagine there's no scale.
Yeah, like the a lot of the scaling on the map is
It's
is
just
a
a
little
map, yeah.
like
It's-
it's a map, so it's not
Exactly.
obviously one-to-one with the size of a lot of the buildings.
Yes,
That said, you know that even if you got to the closest point between the island and the main continent, that still might be a day or two's travel at sea.
I don't know
On
that.
a day or two's travel on like a vessel, or like a day or two of running for me.
On a vessel. And vessels going through the sea would move considerably faster than your top run speed.
Will you say that?
I do.
But-
So
Boats are
then-
fast.
Depends on the winds. It depends on the winds.
Does it?
it is
The
evident
point of
that
sail.
it is evident that we will need to get some sort of transportation to cross that water.
Does anyone know how to build such a thing?
No.
Well,
I look at
understand-
Zax.
Yeah, I also look at Zach.
I look about like I was about to say something. I'm like, I know the basic principles, but I've never built something like that. As he's kind of glancing back and forth between Hand and Keeper.
So, well, all we
Mhm.
can do is go and see what we find.
In that case, I advise I vote for the route along the coast, the Floop's route. We're more likely to encounter, anyone with a vessel or something that might not freak out about us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't
Perhaps
know what's
there might-
over there, but
Perhaps
sure.
there might be an open-minded fisherman or something with a rowboat. I don't know. I know
Yeah.
nothing about the surface.
Okay. Well
I
then,
just know that often when
We
you help
are more
people,
likely to
they are
find-
more inclined to help you in
more-
return.
I agree. So then,
Better to have transport, yeah. So the
if
plan thus
everybody-
far is to head to the coast this way, and potentially find a ship. But if not, then to head down the coast this way to see if anything can be found.
all right. So, if everyone is in agreement, we will take Floop's route. Everybody's in agreement?
I'm fine with that.
I think that would be fine.
All right.
All right.
So then we start going, and as we are about to leave,
Mhm.
I cast a spell.
Ooh. I cast the spell. Sorry.
I can stack the darkness.
Yeah.
I cast
the
Easy
spell.
Trail.
When you cast the spell, heavy undergrowth parts as you approach, the moves back after you pass.
And I had
Okay.
to type this out on my own.
Oh, okay.
It's
When you
back
cast the
moves.
spell, heavy undergrowth parts as you approach and then moves back as you pass. For the duration, your speed and all that creatures within 40 feet of you isn't reduced by difficult terrain caused by any kind of plants or vegetable matter. And any creature attempting to track you has disadvantage on survival checks to follow your trail. Okay, I was going to say, not a lot of vegetation out here, so I'm not sure why you're doing this, but yeah, there it is. It
Yeah.
makes...
There it is.
There it is at the
Duration
end, yeah.
8 hours.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
40-foot radius.
And yeah,
8 hours.
any creature attempting to track you has disadvantage. It doesn't say specifically if you're within vegetative areas. No, it's just its own thing. That's good. I like it.
Yep.
As we head out, I replace my cloak and I put my mask on. to try and keep some of the dust out of my eyes.
right.
I also transform and put my cloak on.
You're gonna switch down to your standard human-sized pure blood form.
Yep.
Dope.
More
Zach's-
importantly, human shaped.
Yeah.
Zach plops down in his mount and taps it and just says, "Follow the group." And then he goes back to kind of knitting on his cloak. Anybody who looks at it will notice that wherever he knits on the cloak is now beginning to change color on its own.
Floop is gonna put on her cloak because she doesn't want too much ash sticking on her gook.
Yeah, you don't want any of that stuff clumping up with your natural goop on your feet.
Yeah, it's gonna be yucky, and I'm gonna be as clumsy as Floosh if I get sticky everywhere.
Oh, jeez. I'm blowing it. But yeah, okay, so...
Hold on a second. Thank you so much, Palantir, for the donation
Oh,
Okay.
yay!
of $100.
Wow.
That's
wow.
nice, thank you.
Wow.
Hold on, we got sounds for that. Yeah!
Also, I'm also wearing my Unis Honest hoodie that I just got in. I'm very, very pleased about that. I was gonna wear it for the last stream I was doing, but I was drawing, so that my camera isn't on it. But you know, but yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Palantir.
Thanks, Palantir! That's amazing!
Yeah.
Yay!
Woo! Awesome.
Unis Honest.
Okay,
Not Unis Anus. Not
One-
one
Unus
butt.
anus.
one buff.
One bum. Alright.
Don't blame us, blame Latin.
During
Yeah,
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. Screw you, Latin. As we're
fault.
traveling, I do try and keep an eye on the horizon to see it, see any markers, comparing them to the map and stuff.
Yeah, you have like a passive perception of 20.
20!
So yeah, as you're traveling, like you can roll to try and do better if you want to try to roll over a 10.
I
and
prefer to
carry
not
that
roll.
as your active perception. But if you want to just use your passive, that's also fine.
I'd like to passive perceive, but if there's situations in which I need to actively perceive, then I'll roll them. But I am currently just walking and kind of looking around while I walk.
Yes. Refresh my
And-
memory really quickly, Floop. You said that in order to avoid getting all of the dust and stuff clumping up on your feet goop, what were you gonna do?
Well, not my feet, but over me because I don't want to end up ashy all over.
Mm-hmm.
Every cloak on, and I will probably put some stuff under my feet so it doesn't get all clumpy.
Yeah, you find that you have a cloak that you can sort of put on and throw up a hood, and other sort of bits of clothing like a scarf or something you can put over your face, and some sort of makeshift shoes that you can put on to help you get through any terrain that might be difficult for your bare feet. Not everything is as soft and moist as the swamp you're from, so we'll say that's just part of your adventuring pack is just some basic clothing. Some weathering clothes. All right,
Okay.
so you guys start heading west. Relatively, as you travel, the day is seemingly without incident. As you guys are moving along, it is quiet, save for the noise occasionally of the wind rustling over the edges of the jagged rocks sticking out of the ground. With a 20 in passive perception, and you notice that as the sun is starting to go down, as you guys have been traveling for a whole day moving west, you notice as the sun starts to set, as the light starts to dim around you, just on the edge of your vision, sort of over the edges of some of the rocks, you do see what appears to be little heads poking up every now and then to watch you.
I stop and I hold my hand out in front of the rest of the party, or other people in the party, and look over at them.
The second you stop and then look over at them, the little heads bob down and disappear.
Can I try and catch them with do I see them? Can I roll a perception to try and spot them?
Yeah, if you want to roll a perception to try and get an active beat on them, go for it.
20.
20, my god. Yeah, so you see the same thing and like the second that like she puts up her hand to get you guys to stop, and like looks over at them, you look over in the same direction and you catch it's hard to tell at the distance as exactly what race it is, but you do see the top of a head poking up over a rock, and then you see it duck down and disappear.
Yeah, I have good eyesight, but I don't imagine I could pick out what race they are, but I do see something.
Could we tell if they were like medium or like? Could we tell what size category the creatures were?
Medium size.
And if they were humanoid?
It appeared to be.
Okay. It's somebody. There's those are some people
Zax looks up from his work.
over the hill. And I kind of gesture in that direction, like with a hand out like this.
I saw them as well. She speaks the truth.
Floops over to Sayaces. Have you seen such thing before?
Zax pulls down his
I just
goggles.
realized I was muted.
Oh, that's
Oh
okay.
no!
It's okay, I didn't say much. I'm gonna roll perception to see if I can get a close look at what they are as well, or see if maybe I recognize them from
Yeah, go for it.
what my past outings here.
24. It looks like, I mean, from what you can see, you wouldn't be surprised if it was perhaps some of the gray orcs that you guys found when you were up here. Because you know that, like, getting about a day's travel away from the doors becomes sort of their light scouting territory. That occasionally you'll run into scouts of theirs every now and then. Like, you've seen them before, and even been to one of their villages, from what I remember. And yeah, like, they got scouts out here occasionally. They watch people come and go.
I nudge Sayaces. You look like you're pondering. What's up?
I relay the information on the possibility this might be the gray orcs.
Does anybody here speak Orcish? I would kind of look at Keeper. You know
I do not.
Okay.
I speak giant.
Hmm.
I speak Sylvan, Common, Draconic, and Grung.
I know quite a few languages, but none of them are Orcish.
I look over at Sayaces. Did we set a trap?
Should we talk to them?
Syces, you do remember that they speak common.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, like, you remember they speak the common tongue.
Can we talk to them?
They do speak common,
Hmm.
as far as I remember.
That makes things a little bit easier.
When we interact with them the last time, were the Grey Orcs the ones that we sent back to the gates, the kingdom's
Yes,
gates?
you did run into a tribe of them to the south and west, of which there are a few, and the one that you guys particularly met with, you guys convinced to, or at the very least, you ran into them as they were heading towards the gate. It was a group of them that was heading in there to sort of scout out the kingdom to see if that was a place where they would consider moving their tribe in.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry.
Well, we have interacted with them in the past, and we're actually able to speak with them, so there's that possibility. But
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys ran into them as you guys were coming out of the doors. The B team was the ones that met and convinced those orcs to move into the kingdom. You guys met goblins that lived out here, little gray, sickly-looking
right.
goblins, and you guys sent them back to the door.
I remember. Yeah,
and
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
also
yeah,
brought
yeah.
back those ghosts. So yeah, there are people out here on occasion, but they're really spread out and they're malnourished at best.
So you know of them, Sayaces?
So what would I? Okay, what would I know specifically of them then, if that's the case?
I mean, some of them did come to the kingdom, so I'm just gonna say, like, you're aware of what happened, that, like,
Sure.
another group of adventurers that came out of the kingdom ran into their tribe, and convinced some of them to come in and live in the kingdom for a short amount of time, a little ways after the rest of the tribe was convinced to move in. And it seems to be fine.
Okay. From what I know, a number of them actually moved into the kingdom, so there is the possibility that we should be able to converse with them and things should go fine. But
I'm more concerned
It's-
about whether or not they'll attack us.
yes, I was just about to say, we can try and see if maybe we can just speak with them, and if things go south, we should be prepared to defend ourselves.
I nudge Keeper. You're up. You're fast. Your people are known to be kind, and you can defend yourself easily. You're up.
My people are known to be kind by those who reside in the underworld with us.
They don't.
Here in the overworld,
I don't know.
it is doubtful that my monastery's reputation
Hmm.
precedes us. That said, I am fast.
Yeah. I am very fast.
My statement stands. We'll be back here. You're up.
All right.
Do you want to try to, like, sprint and catch him?
No. I want to try and advance slowly. But yeah, I want to advance to towards where I saw them, the closest
I
group.
just mean if
But,
you're in
I want
danger,
to-
you can get back fast.
Yeah, but I want to advance at a regular, non-threatening pace. I don't want to start bolting after, right at them.
Like, take off
top
after him.
speed.
Like, that's a quick way
Yeah,
to scare somebody.
I want to
death.
approach them in a calm, regular step, and I want to try and see if I can get within 100 feet of them to try and potentially communicate with my telepathy.
Oh, sorry for that.
Okay. Yeah, as you move up to that particular area, like, as you sort of move slowly in that direction, walking through the wasteland, when you approach, you don't see them as you approach because they appear to be up over a rock ridge, but you do get within a distance. You get within 100 feet of that spot.
Okay. Can I try and reach out with my telepathy? Try and see if I can communicate with one of them?
Yeah, reaching out with your mind, you don't necessarily feel anybody who's over there. Typically, it's like you either need to know where that person is or know who they are to kind of make that connection. But just sort of errantly reaching out, you're not finding a whole lot of what's going on. Like, it doesn't.
As soon as I do, I do keep my eyes open. If I do gain any sort of if I do gain any sight of any of them within 100 feet, I would at the first opportunity I would say, don't be afraid. We come in peace.
Be not afraid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like the Old Testament, the the Christian angels. Be not afraid. So, yeah, like, as you sort of get in that distance, you reach out with your telepathy, giving that sort of "don't be afraid" message. There is a moment of silence before the top half of a little orcish head pokes up over the rock ridge as it looks down at you.
You there. We mean you no harm.
All
Are
right.
you friendly or are you hostile?
That's your telepathy voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like,
As you say these things, the orc that's looking down at you goes, "Ah!" and then runs away. You hear him just take off into the distance.
Okay, I stop. I don't keep moving forward. I want to make it clear that I'm not chasing.
Yeah, you just talked into his brain now. honey.
Just sprint after him. Where are you going? It's like, ah! Yeah.
Simple folk.
I don't understand.
It seems that it seems that speaking to them in telepathy didn't do so hot at the very least. Roll an investigation.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
13.
13? Yeah, it seems that whatever these people were, telepathy was something that they had not experienced ever. And it did appear to terrify the shit out of whoever that scout was, and they took off before you could take control of their mind or potentially eat their brains or something. They don't know.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running? That meme is exactly what just happened.
Beautiful.
I don't. I just kind of huffed to myself because I don't really know what else to do. Like,
Like, En's got her fucking arms crossed, and she's just.
like I turned. I turned back towards my party, and like, can I still? I can still see them. How? And I just kind of shrug at them, like, "Whoa." Like.
I give him. I give Keeper one of those like nod back kind of gestures, like whatever. Come on,
It
back.
happens.
Like, they're not gonna hurt us. They're doing their own damn thing. Let's go.
All right, I take a couple steps back, like I start walking backwards, still facing the little hiding orcs, and I like once I've gained a considerable distance, I turn and I make my way back towards the party.
Yeah.
All right. Should we continue, or are you guys concerned about these small creatures?
Oh, I'm such an idiot. Hold on. I just realized I don't need to cover my feet in order to not get gooky. I just transform into a wolf.
What?
You can change shapes. I forgot about that.
Did you? Did you just turn into a wolf?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Zax-
that's a thing.
Zax points at the wolf. Wolf!
Whoa.
Turn into a wolf.
I give Floop a little pat between her shoulders, and then I continue walking.
Zax continues to point,
That is
Like,
one
and
wolf.
looking about the party.
Like the wolf still has the lily flower on its head.
Vrail seems oddly not unfazed.
Yeah, transformation is something that you and your people are not only comfortable but familiar with, whereas this appears to be semi-foreign to your compatriot.
I look over to the Zax and I'm like, some of my people can turn into small vipers. This is nothing.
And Hortag wants
I
to
say in my pureblood form.
Hortag wants to say, I'm not a wolf, I'm a floof.
Got like. You
No,
can't speak as a wolf right now.
I was unable to make successful communication contact with them. However, they do not appear to be immediately hostile.
Who are you
the wolf turns to
telepathically
you.
speaking to?
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, the wolf turns to you and goes. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's a comment from Hortag that says, I'm not a wolf, I'm a floof.
I don't speak wolf. I'm sorry.
It might appear that I should probably get used to using my mouth parts
Froggo
instead of
Doggo.
to communicate here.
I nod to Keeper. And are we going? Does anybody
Yeah.
care about this? All right.
All right.
Yeah, let us onwards.
We continue on.
As you guys continue on, and the sun starts to go down as it's sort of in the golden hour, in the evening as it were. Do you guys stop and break for camp?
How long have we been going?
You guys have been pretty much going since like early day, so
How many hours, please?
well, do you
I
have a
would
watch?
I know that my spell would end after 8 hours.
After 8 hours? So yeah, your spell would definitely have ended, I'm gonna say, a little ways back. Do you want to just renew it every time it ends?
Let's see. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mainly wanted to do it out the gate, so I couldn't have been followed out the gate.
That is solid. And yeah, no, you guys went like easily like 12 hours.
Okay.
We're not, well, more like 10, because like sunish is going down, so you know it's early evening.
So yeah, if
I'm used to the
everybody
sun
else
setting
needs
a
to
lot
break for
earlier in Canada.
I don't. I feel like I mean I could press on for another couple hours before I'm tired, but
Just
What
for
about
that, Floop is gonna change back into her grung appearance and say, "If you want to keep up, I might request Zax if I can put my bucket into your mouth and just sit in it because I need water."
oh yeah.
Zax looks down at the mountain, like kind of pats it on the sides, like, "What do you think? I think that's a yes."
Yeah, it seems to happily chirp at you. It doesn't seem to mind.
Okay.
How often do you need to do
Small
that?
enough.
Well, 1 hour a day.
Oh, just an hour a day. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
I mean, you could sleep in your bucket just the same.
Yeah, but I don't know when we're going to sleep, so I'd rather do it right now, just in case we have to stay awake during the night.
We'll like if we press on, it'll only be another couple of hours, not too long into the night. Unless you guys are tired now, we can rest.
I'm okay to press on as far as you guys can, but let's not overexert ourselves.
I don't plan on overexerting myself unless I'm in danger.
Okay, then I'll just follow, and when we'll have a break, I'm gonna use my bucket.
I've just been riding this and doing my work.
I, as an aside, look to Syaces as if they might have an opinion on rest.
I do not personally require any kind of rest, but if we do need to stop and camp at any point overnight, I'm actually very good at standing watch, because I do not require sleep.
But you still need some sort of downtime.
Hang on, let me just make sure.
Yeah,
The thing.
you do need to, at least for 4 hours, sort of sit.
Yeah.
Like, you can chill and read a book for 8 hours.
Where like you're
Basically,
still fully
four
aware
hours,
of
actually,
your.
it says.
Yeah, for 4 hours you just need to like have a sit where you're still fully aware of your surroundings. You're still
So it's like-
alert, but you need to just be, inactive for that time.
Yeah,
It's-
I just need to just chill.
Yeah.
It's meditate plus.
My
Yeah.
species is also sleepless. I can also stand watch.
You guys keep each other company.
Yee. Watch buddies.
You might want to set those off a bit. Because you both need 4 hours. I look to Keeper.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. 4 hours of meditation is enough to sustain me.
You should both probably offset them, and one of us should stay up during those 4 hours as well. Which means our camping time would be 12 hours of rest, so that the rest of us can have a full sleep while also staying up. Nobody should be doing this alone. Nobody should stand watch alone while we're out here.
Sure. Yeah.
Well,
But
right,
this-
but the Banshee Syaces can take the first 4-hour shift, and I can take the second 4-hour shift while we meditate
right.
on the each opposite shift. And during that time, that gives 8 hours for the rest of you, which should be enough.
Right, but you also should have a buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have
okay.
Syaces and keeping me company during my 4-hour meditation, and I'll be able to keep Syaces company during her 4-hour rest.
You can just switch off.
Yeah.
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 So
It's-
like you guys
we-
just
I'm not
Stagger
know,
it is
I
what
don't
she's saying.
know. I don't
Yeah.
know very much about use of people who don't need sleep.
Yeah.
we
So
should be
I'm
okay.
fine.
Between me and the Banshee, we should be able to keep watch. Other we don't require sleep. We can just
Alright.
stay awake.
Then let us make camp.
All right.
Anyone you push forward a
Um,
little bit?
I set
Looking
up my tent
around.
terribly.
I was gonna say,
You just
Um,
set up anywhere.
Just yeah. If you guys want, you can try to like find a place that's sort of out of sight next to one of those rock outcroppings, just to where you can nestle into the side of a tall stone.
I'll look for a good spot.
Oh,
Yes, definitely not camp on the path.
Right. Yeah, what am I thinking? And I grab my stuff again. It is evident that N does not know how to camp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to roll survival?
No, I want to fail at camping. I don't want to run. I don't want to run the risk of getting a nat 20.
Of like rolling
Yes.
well.
I want to be bad at camping for now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Would I
So we
be
get
able to kind of? I mean, I've seen this area. Would I
Mhm.
be able to kind of identify a spot that maybe we've, used for camping before? That would be good. Something like that.
the times that you've been to the surface, you've never really been this far north and west in the wasteland.
That's
A
fair.
lot of the excursions have usually been south into the easterly direction, but you do know as you are traveling in this direction, like the kind of places that you guys camped out the last time you were up here, which are like, sort of in the shadows of these large rock outcroppings, occasionally sort of down in the edge, and if you're lucky, looking around, you can sometimes even find like sort of like a half cave or a little cavern underneath one of the rocks that you can nestle into.
Well, I'm gonna attempt a survival.
Yeah, roll
I-
for it.
I'm also
I'm
going
gonna roll
for-
one too. Oh, I did bad.
Cool. Floop, you spot you spot a good spot to make camp.
Let's go
And-
right there.
Yeah.
And she goes towards the spot.
I go up and I examine the spot. Looks like every other spot around here. There's just this crag.
It's like fucking Knuckles holding the letter, like puts on glasses, like, I can't read. like, just like looking over, like, yeah, I can't read. Like,
Well,
yeah.
she would pick a spot next to a rock that would be where we can be shielded from the wind, because even if we don't leave tracks, we can certainly leave a scent.
Mhm.
So she wants to make sure that the wind doesn't drive our scent while we are resting.
Fair.
All right, yeah. You do manage to find a good spot, and you find like a nice way to sort of mask where you guys have been coming from. Yeah, you're good. You guys settle in for the evening. As you guys settle into one of the crags, it's like a sort of like a little mound in the middle that has been recessed into the ground. So it's like a sort of a donut-shaped ditch in the ground, surrounded by rock crags that are sort of pointing up in many directions.
I want to have been in my big form while sleeping, because it's much more comfortable to have many little bones than big long bones with like knees and shit on the ground.
Big stupid knee bones.
Fuck. No knees are comfortable while laying down.
No, 100%. They suck. You are 100% correct on that one.
Much more comfortable curled up.
I turn to Siaces.
Would you like first watch or second watch?
I could take the first watch if you'd like.
Very well.
As Zax is prepping his area, he shakes out his cloak, and you'll notice that it doesn't look like the regular brown leather cloak that he bought. The outer layer of it seems to shift in color as he moves it.
Where'd you get that?
I made it better.
Oh, that's what you did on the way here?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He throws it over him, and with the hood down, you can see his head, but the rest of it seems to shift and half blend in with its surroundings.
Ooh. So mechanically, what are you doing here?
Mechanically, I've created a cloak of elven kind.
Oh. You should really put that on a skill so that you can just click it and post it in chat.
It's a camouflage cloak.
Yeah.
Very similar to that one scene in Lord of the Rings where they're like down on the rocks and they throw the cloak over themselves and they just look like a boulder. They sort of blend into what they're doing.
Flip is just gonna open her bucket.
Hey, you got your bucket that folds open your like sort of portable kiddie
While
pool.
you wear this cloak.
Okay, so cloak of elven kind. While you
And I
wear
create order.
Nice.
while you wear this cloak with its hood up, wisdom perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide. As the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you, pulling up the cloak, pulling up the hood or down requires an action.
Oh, so then you sort of like nestle in your camo cloak, your all seasons ghillie suit, get nestled in.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know how that works. Because then like anybody that tries to spot you is going to have disadvantage, and you have advantage when using hiding checks, which is dexterity checks to hide. Floop, you unfold your lovely sort of kiddie pool, your sort of collapsible bucket that you have that you can fit into, and then cast create water into the bucket. So you get a little bucket of water.
Bringing Blubtown with her.
Blubtown.
And I
Blubtown.
just sit in my bucket and nestle in, so just the tip of my nose is pointing out, and the lily flower is just floating around.
So yeah, in a way that you have practiced to ensure maximum moisture while you are sleeping on the surface and adventuring and whatnot, you've definitely like gotten it so that you can nestle right into the bucket and just your little nose is poking out above the water and the little lily flowers floating around.
Oh my god, Floop, I need to know, does the lily that's on your fucking head float on the top of the water while you're in that bucket?
Yes.
Good.
It's so cute.
Perfect.
Just looking down. It's perfect.
It's my body that doesn't want to say something is cute, so she just muffles it. This is perfect.
I'm gonna roll survival with disadvantage for putting up my tent.
Go for
Okay?
it. Go for it.
Alright. Disadvantage. Oh,
13. There's a lot of poles and cloth in here that you're not entirely familiar with, and honestly, this sounds like a lot of servant bullshit, so you don't know why.
God!
Yeah, you find yourself in a weird situation where you're not sure what the hell's going on or why you have this, but, here we are. Setting it up, you do have a setting for it that will accommodate at least most of your large size, with the exception of maybe your tail. But if you coil up tight enough, you feel like you can definitely fit inside of it. But it does take some doing before you do eventually get it up.
I seem satisfied with my work. I'm satisfied with my work, and I go into my tent.
I can just see 20 minutes. You're like, what the fuck? Like, okay, got it. This just falls over. You're like, God damn it!
I wake up, it's down on me.
Yeah, it's just like a massive sticks and poles and canvas just lying on top of you.
But at that point, it's covering you like a big blanket anyway, so you're like, you know what, fuck it.
So I didn't
Whatever.
So in the night, I didn't notice that it fell down because it's a blanket at this point.
Zach's half almost starts to get up to help, but thinks better of it and just keeps himself
Yeah,
quiet.
you're damn right. I did it
God
perfectly first try. All right, so we sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find
go
a.
ahead.
Sorry. As the sleeping parties get ready to or start their sleep, I find a comfortable spot to meditate for my 4 hours.
Oh, and before fully submerging myself to sleep, if anyone needs a bonfire to cook or stay warm for a few, for a minute, I can create one. So just splash in my bucket, and I'm gonna wake up.
I keep that in mind.
I will keep this in mind. All
And
right.
she nests back in.
As you guys settle in for the evening, doing yourselves a good time of getting in and getting comfortable, the night passes relatively without incident. Let me just get a little
Relatively.
well, nighttime sounds. Actually, no. There's no crickets out here, so
There would be no crickets.
you don't hear shit.
Hey.
Not you. Shut up.
Okay, back your legs. You gonna sing us a song? Thry-Crean Bard.
The Thry-Crean Bard. Ah!
Just rubs his legs together sensually.
Says every bard ever.
Yeah. Rubs his legs together sensually. My God.
I mean, since he's a bard, it would make a cricket sound.
Yeah. As the evening appears to pass quietly, about halfway through the night, you hear a bit of rustling in the distance, but nothing seems to come from it.
So this would be about when halfway through the night would be about when the changeover is. So when I finish my meditation and when Siaces starts hers.
Mm-hmm.
So do I hear the noise?
Yeah, actually, roll me perception for the both of you. We'll just take as like a general roll for the evening. You can either roll or take 10.
That's passive perception?
If you want to roll for it, you can, or you can just take passive.
I'm going to take 10 in passive wisdom.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So with a 16 and a 17, about halfway through the night, sort of in like the deepest and darkest part of the evening, you do hear something rustle in the rocks to the distance of where you are, somewhere to the north and east. Sorry, north and west. Some of the orc scouts just like, is that a cricket? How the hell did crickets survive out here? Shut up. Crickets aren't that big, aren't they? You don't know.
Did you hear that?
I think I might have.
I can go and I can check it out, or we can just continue on our night.
Let's wait it out for a little longer.
Okay.
All right. Well, I am now done my required meditation, so I can stand watch for the remainder of the night. I'll keep an eye on it. We're in that direction.
Well, the nice thing about my needs is that I am fully awake and aware while in my inactive state while I'm resting, so I can keep watch as well. I just can't do anything.
Well, right. It's the action that is required, but I'll be ready to protect. I'll be ready to jump into action if anything comes up.
Sounds good.
As you guys are sort of enjoying the chat and switching over, you do hear some footsteps slowly approach you. Slowly. That's better. Slowly approach you in the dirt and the sand.
My antenna perk up as I hear this.
Someone's coming.
I walk over to Floop and I kind of kick her bucket. Like gently, very gently, very gently. Very gently.
Universe.
No.
Fucking monk
I just
punch.
I try and nudge it like a little bit as I make my way over to N to try and wake him up.
Just like...
So you wake up N too?
Yes. Well, yeah, I nudged Floop on the way to wake up N.
I attempt to wake up suddenly with my sword drawn. But there's a tent.
Yes. You stand up swiftly, drawing your sword. You are encumbered as you are tangled in your tent.
Can I help her get out of it?
Yeah. And roll. I'm gonna say acrobatics with advantage.
Beautiful.
Great.
14.
So 14. You do in a few seconds manage to like get yourself out of some of the ropes and throw it on the ground next to you.
Very great. What?
Fucking
What?
boring conversation anyway.
What? I look around.
Can you?
Sniff the fucking iron.
I yell over to Sices. Can you wake
the goblin? I say with my telepathy to not alert anyone who might be coming.
Hmm.
Did you try to wake up Flute too?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was with the
that's
kick.
the bucket.
That was with the gentle kick.
Oh, okay. Not
Yeah,
just
she nudged-
flopping.
He nudged your bucket.
Just,
Like,
Yeah.
I just pass it by. Fuck this bucket.
Okay. Yeah. So I
Gonna
attempt to
pop
assist.
out her head.
Yeah, so as you guys are getting up, you do hear sort of the sounds of footfalls getting slightly closer. They, from what you can hear, appear to be coming from all sides.
All sides.
Yeah, what started as a noise coming at you from the north and west has sort of slowly degraded into them coming from many directions.
can I quickly take off my mask and robe and kind of toss them to the side and into a little like kind of safe-ish area with the rest of our like I don't know wherever Braille tossed her tent scraps.
And they're right there. Like,
And I would like to use my chameleon carapace to change my color to a dark gray.
Okay.
I'm trying to hide.
Zach's kind of like half awake, sees people prepping. He's like, oh, puts his hood up
What's going on? Is it go time? What's happening?
and
Just me.
and grabs his shield, which actually looks like it has some new like indents and some runes carved in it.
So yeah, I rolled a 20. I rolled a stealth check. With advantage because of my chameleon carapace, so 23 to hide.
Okay. As you guys, yeah, you've rolled that 23 to hide, sort of like camouflaging into the sort of the gray wasteland around you. As for everybody else,
I'm a
put
I'm a
yourselves on the
large
map.
size. I'm a large size gold Yuanti abomination, who is not attempting to hide.
Where were we camped?
You guys were camped like in and around the central area here, in sort of this like circular ditch surrounded by the rock outcroppings.
Oh, why is this?
So-
Oh, you made it.
Oh, how do I put a thing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna like back up, climb up the spire or whatever like that, and hide,
Mhm.
kind of perched on the wall.
Okay. So you're in. That you can remove.
I got
And Sices. Boop. There you
How
are.
do I? Oh, there we go. There's me. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
So I'm like kind of scurry backwards up the wall as
Okay.
I blend into the background.
Zach's before anything, seeing Keeper kind of like start to fade into shadows, taps his mount and suddenly points it up the cliff face, because I know this thing can climb.
Yeah.
Dude, don't give away my.
Don't give away my position.
He looks around and then taps it again and then points at a different cliff face to go climb up.
Because yeah, he out stealthed your passive perception. So
And Zach tries to move into some shadows and start to hide.
Okay. Is there any other prep you guys would like to do? Yeah, the mount that you have is sort of like the mecha spider, sort of chirps at you as you tell it to find somewhere to hide. And it sort of moves not up the spire, but sort of like on the side of it, gripping it with its legs.
I would like to do some a bit of prep?
I will give you 1 action to prep.
Okay.
Oh wait, this was with advantage, so I'll just roll it again.
I would like to cast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, not that one. Where is it? This one. Nope. It's fuck it. This. Wait. I can cast this. Yes, okay. I will cast at 2nd level.
At 2nd level, you are casting Armor of Agathis. Magical force surrounds you, manifesting as a spectral frost that covers you and your gear. You gain 5 temp HP for the duration, but you're casting it at 2nd level, so that is 10 temp HP. And if a creature hits you with a melee attack, when you have those hit points, they take 5 cold. And then the cold damage increases also by 5 for each level above the first. So that is... Okay, well, yeah, when you cast a spell using something like that, both the... Oh, yeah, the temp HP and the damage increases if you cast it above first level. Armor of Agathis is a good spell.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so you have 10 temp HP, and during its duration of 1 hour, as long as, like, whenever creatures attack you, they take 10 cold. And we got a...
In melee.
In melee,
Has
yeah.
melee damage.
Specifically melee damage. Floop, do you do anything to prep?
I'm looking at my cantrips.
Yeah, 1 action, he says.
You get like an action's worth of prep time.
Or 1 bonus action because that's smaller?
Resistance.
I cast this on Rail.
Cool. Yeah, you touch a willing creature, and you get to roll a d4 and add that number to a saving throw of your choice.
Just once.
Yeah, and you can roll the die before or after making the saving throw, then the spell ends.
Awesome.
It is a concentration spell, so...
Yeah.
That's there. All right.
Dope.
Okay, and last but not least, does Cyaces do anything in preparation?
Going to... No, I'm not gonna do that one. I'm just gonna kind of like tuck in maybe like right here.
Right here?
Did I move it? Did you see it? Did
Yeah,
you see
I can see it.
a slight move. Just a little bit. Cyaces isn't really sure what we are dealing with quite yet, so she's gonna kind of take a slightly defensive, observing position for now.
Yeah, that works.
That's entirely fair.
Hondo P, that is fair.
We don't know whether or not maybe it's just somebody's coming up and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm lost.
March.
Hello, I'm friend, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's your friend. It's Steve. Oh, he's come over the hill. He's come to talk to you. Steve! It's your buddy. It's
Your buddy.
it's your friend. Right. You've known him forever. Okay, so, as you guys,
I don't like the music, so I'm gonna assume it's bad.
Yeah, as you guys are sort of like getting into position, you not only hear sort of like shuffling and scratching in the dirt, but you hear sort of a guttural like noise as over the hill a number of emaciated, feral-looking orcs appear in the area around you.
It's a lot of them.
Roll initiative.
But first, click on your token.
Click on your token, and then roll initiative, please. I'm going to be getting the other people.
What was that?
Hang on, snack nobody. Shut up.
Oh no, this is a lot worse than I thought.
Shut up, and then also shut up.
Let's make that one.
Let's pop that out. Let's roll initiative for the orc. Wow.
I got another one too.
A lot of people boofing it. But that's fine.
I like that you can mouse over the turn order and see where they are on the map.
Just add
That's
those
pretty
in,
good.
and they got 21. We can hit enter. It doesn't necessarily. Well, I mean, it does work for NPCs, but I would need to select. I didn't do the thing where I like select the one guy and then do it. Additionally, I'm not giving them all separate turns. I'm just gonna have them all move at once.
Kabongos. If you will.
Yeah, combat bongos or kobongos, if you will. Palanthier, it warms the shit out of my heart that you understand what this is. That you recognize this particular music. So yes, the group, you guys are out there, and as combat begins, hold on, let me see if I can find something a little bit better. What do we got? What do we got here?
That's real dark. That's some real dark music.
There we go. All right. These guys, sort of like, they come at you in the darkness. They are feral and, as I've said, like they're emaciated. Their hands, almost like claws more than anything else. Some of them carrying large axes. Some of them carrying spears. They come rushing over the edges now that they see that you've noticed them, screeching and howling. They rush down. Now, let's see if they have disadvantage to spot you.
To spot us?
To spot Zax. That is a 6. What about the other guy that's up near you? 2. Yeah, that's not happening. So they completely run past. One of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, runs down to here. Another one running into melee range. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this one has a double move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Getting to there. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, this one also has to double move to get that close. Yeah, this one also has to double move to get that close. So, a bunch of them, seeing Syaces out in the open, screech and howl as they come running down towards her, but really they have to spend their whole turns moving to get to that distance. As for the other 3, though, one of them takes a swing at Vrail here with a great axe. Yeah, does an 18 hit you?
Sure does.
An 18. Yeah. It does some slashing damage.
How much?
13. That is 22, I believe. Yes.
How dare.
They also take 10 ice damage.
That's true. It does take 10 ice damage. We're going to mark that one. Good. The other one that is running towards our good friend the Grung here swings with a spear. Yeah. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
That is a 19 damage. Piercing. It's one of them swings at you with a spear.
Ow? Stranger danger?
And the last one makes a swing at Syaces with the spear. Yeah. Jesus Christ. These guys are rolling amazingly. Does a 26 hit you?
I mean, it sure does, boss.
It does... What is that? 20 damage.
Does piercing damage hurt ghosts?
I mean, I'm not a ghost. I'm a banshee, and
Banshee,
that's slightly different. I'm like a solid ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She is corporeal.
Fair enough.
All right. And Keeper, you're up.
Okay, now because I'm stealth and they haven't noticed me, I get an extra action.
No.
I believe it is. Yeah.
You can attack with advantage.
If you are hidden before the first round of combat, you can surprise your opponent to get a free round to attack them before they can react. You are no longer hidden after you attack.
Yeah, this is not before the first round of combat.
Oh,
We are not ambushing
Yeah,
them.
you can attack, and I will give your attacks advantage on this round because you are striking from stealth.
all right. Well, in that case, I will immediately leap down with a flying kick to hit this one in the face after it attacks
The
Floop.
groin? Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to fling myself down, like up and down, and hit it with like a somersaulting kick
Go for
to
it.
the top of its head.
Roll 2 hits. For you.
I do not like my life right now.
I do not like this. This is a bad time.
I'm already at half HP in a single swing. I'm
Yep.
not okay with this. I am saying no.
Yep.
God damn it! All right, does
Sorry,
a 10
1
hit?
second. A fire alarm is going off in my building. I do apologize for the inconvenience. A 10 does not hit, unfortunately.
All right, well then I will take a second swing.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ, yeah, with a 27, big hit on that one. That does damage. You do strike. Roll some damage. 11 plus 2 bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning.
All right, so that's 13 damage. Good.
All right, that's my 2 attacks. Then I will backflip up over the spike, away from that one. He
Mhm.
does not get an attack of opportunity because of mobile.
Yep, you did hit during this turn.
I will aim to land here
Okay. I'm just
That's
gonna
on
move
top-
that guy
on top. Yeah, I want to land on top of it.
on top of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you roll me acrobatics.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what? You got over a 10. You do the jump, and you flip through the air. You do manage to land on the top of the mechanical mount without sort of like slipping off or causing damage or making it sort of lose its footing. As a semi beast of burden already, you do manage to land on it, and there you are.
I am also light on my feet. And
You are
used to
light.
jump.
And if it- yeah, to assuage your concerns, Kara, we don't have to worry so much about the fire alarm as the building I'm in is made of like stark concrete, so someone could be setting off thermite in one of these suites. I would never know. Like there could be a full fire raging in the suite next door, and it would never reach me, and I'd never notice that it's there. Like the wall might get a little warm. That's about it.
And as I land on the mount, I spend 1 key point to summon the arms of my astral self.
The arms of your astral self are summoned.
All right.
Whoosh!
I make like a palm salute, and 2 giant golden glowing spectral arms like grow out of my
Shoot
shoulders.
out of your shoulders. Yeah, these things like rush up out of you, and now you have these 2 big arms.
All right. Also, each creature of my choice that I can see within 10 feet of me has to succeed on a dex saving throw or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of my martial arts die.
And that's within
So that's
10
1,
feet
2,
of you.
3, 4.
And
yeah.
they got to make a DC. What's the DC on it?
Crap. I had it written down somewhere. Crap. Where did it go?
Doc could be setting off thermite. Nobody else would ever know. Go with a more plausible example.
What's the ability called?
Arms of the Astral Self.
Yeah.
We had it last time.
Yeah, we did.
It
It's on your character sheet, yeah?
should have been. I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but I
Whoops.
can't seem to find it.
That's okay. Oh, it might be under in
Whoop,
the
sorry.
core area. It might be under abilities. Arms of the Astral Self. There it is. Sorry, I'm just gonna switch this back over here so I can quickly put that in the chat. There you go. Sorry, you have the use of your character sheet back again.
Yes, no worries.
Okay, so they got to make a dexterity saving throw. But I imagine that is like your spell save DC, so it would
No, it's
be-
not that. We thought it was last time, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't. No, it was like it was a base plus like my wisdom plus my like something
Yeah.
else. Plus my proficiency
10
or something.
So 8 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom modifier.
Yeah? Okay.
8
Yeah.
plus proficiency and plus wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is basically wisdom spell save DC.
Okay.
It would be
Um,
the same if you had a spellcasting class that was wisdom. So it's
Alright.
8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier.
So it's 15.
So 15.
so
All right, so
that's
they got to make a DC 15 dex
As a matter
save.
of fact,
Uh,
yeah. if you were able to drag and drop that ability into your sheet, clicking on it. Oh no, never mind.
Oh yeah, there it is. Key save DC 8 plus my proficiency bonus plus my wisdom modifier.
Boom.
Awesome.
Yep.
Love it. All right.
Not
let's
gonna
see
lie,
if these guys
I
make it. Let's see if these guys. This is to see if these guys can make it. So there's 4 of them. One makes it. He doesn't. He doesn't. And Ty goes to defender. So the 2 in the back there. How much damage do they take?
2 times my force damage equal to 2 rolls of my martial arts die. So
all right. Roll that damage.
Roll 2d6 plus 4. We're just gonna roll 2d6 and then you add 4. Oh, come on. And then you would add
okay.
4 to that for my the
And then add
necklace
4 to that?
beads. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 7 on the first guy, and yeah, I think it's just blanket across, so we'll say 7 on the other guy as well. All right. Let's go there. Let's go. There we go. My keys don't work.
Then stop killing them.
I can't. Or at the very least, if there is a way for me to stop doing that, I don't know what it is just yet.
I actually have an idea, but I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, cool. All right. And is that your turn, my man?
No, once I do that, I'm going to move back up onto the spire. I'm
Okay.
going to jump back up onto the spire.
The 2 guys that you did damage to, this guy and this guy, normally wouldn't get attacks of opportunity against you, but moving from that space back up the spire does pull you out of range from 2 of those orcs. They do both then get attacks of opportunity against you.
Mobile feet? No, they don't.
Does any creature get, or is it just the creature you struck?
You don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn, whether you hit or not. So every one
Okay.
that I rolled an attack against, which was all 4 of them.
Now, is that melee attacks or is that abilities?
Melee attacks, but
Yeah.
it counts as a melee attack.
The ability you used was like summoning your arms was not a melee attack. It just had an area of effect damage.
Correct.
Okay, then never mind. I stay there.
Sizes,
Demi,
what are you up to?
boy oh boy, I'm in a bit of trouble, aren't I?
A little bit of trouble, yeah. You're surrounded by 4 dudes.
A little bit.
Like 4 dudes. Boy, I don't think I have a thing for this except for, well, actually, hang on.
Yeah, hold on.
Hang on. I just noticed a thing that I didn't think about. Give me a second here. Do a little searchy search. Uh-huh. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's, 20 feet on a point I choose. Is that what I want to do? 20, 40,
20-foot radius
yeah.
on a sphere
Except
centered
if
on a
that's
point.
the
Choose
case, then do I... 20, 40, I mean, I can't... I'm considering attempting to cast sleep on
damn.
the area, basically, like... I just want to catch those 4 dudes and nobody else. Will I cast it on myself? I don't cast it on myself, right? Like, that's just...
What's the wording?
Yeah, what's the wording on the spell?
The spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures. Starting with the creature that has the lowest hit points, each creature affected by the spell.
It says affected by the spell, which means otherwise they would say creatures you choose.
Yeah.
So it's everything in that AoE gets hit by a magical sleep effect.
But
you only know that you can't be put to sleep, right?
Yeah, does your sleeplessness, does that also make you immune to magical sleep? Because mine does.
Actually, yeah, it does. Syces, you would know that magical sleep has, little or no effect on you, and your ability to resist being magically put to sleep, you have advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You also,
Sorry again
Alright.
for the noise there, folks.
Yeah, it's real
Yeah.
loud.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun in YouTube.
Oh yeah,
gonna-
that's gonna be a good time later.
Yup. We're gonna try it. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Cast it. You know what? Just because I want to be extra sure, I'm casting this at 2nd level.
Okay. Oh damn, son. All right, so casting it at 2nd level, higher level cast, 8 hit points worth of creatures, 18 hit points of creatures, so 3, 6, 3, 2, and 4 on 5d8. Within 90 feet, and you want to center that like somewhere over here, where
Yeah, I basically want to like catch those 4 guys and
catch those 4 guys, and not your good pal Keeper.
Even though you do know that I am also I also don't sleep.
I mean, I don't. Well,
She
I mean,
may not
that's-
know that.
You don't know that. Yeah, you might not know that that it also extends to magical stuff.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
right.
just
Spell
being
sound.
careful.
Either way,
Better.
you release this sort of spell, and let's see, it is 18 HP at the 1st level, and then another at the next one. So that is okay. So hitting the dudes that are standing there in front of you, this one in specific passes out, falls down on the sleep.
Okay. I'm in trouble.
So
I was hoping that would do more.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, was I ever hoping that would
yeah,
do
yeah, that seems to be going around a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
everybody, for the inconvenience there.
I don't know, guys. I think your girl's going down. I don't know about this.
I don't know, dog. I don't know about this. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I mean, I guess that if I move,
That is
I'm
3
provoking
attacks of
attack
opportunity.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Attack of opportunity. If I don't move, I'm just stuck here. So.
Well, I mean, you have 3 other compatriots that are going to be taking their turn before the feral orcs go again. So
Yeah, this
It
is
might-
the solo campaign.
yeah, like they might. You put one to sleep. There is a possibility that you may want to. Which goes into it. Yeah.
I'm also close enough for them to strike.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if this works.
Yep.
Yeah, so effectively, every time I'm not talking in a way that I want the audience to hear, I can just hit a button and it'll mute me for everybody. It'll mute me for the audience, at least in that much. All right, so Sices, that's your turn?
Yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be.
Awesome. So it's Zax's turn then?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Zax's turn. What are you up to, bud?
Zax looks as the orcs rush by him and surround his newest friend. It's like shit. Takes the pouch off of his belt, still from hiding, tosses it to the side and creates his Eldritch Cannon. And that was his action. With his bonus action, he is going to have it scuttle up to here, and it's going to all of a sudden you see out of this little like spider robot a burst of flame shoot out.
So crafting, like, throwing that to the side would stop you from being stealth.
Would it?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I was...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're going to have to make a DC 15 dex save. This one, and this one.
Well, this one's asleep, so he auto-fails that, and they would take 13 fire damage from the cone.
And half on a save.
And half on a save, and it's a DC 15 dex save. One makes it, the other one does not. So the one in the front sees it coming, and takes half that damage, being 6 damage. And the other one does not, so he takes... Whoops. Come on. There we go. He takes minus 13. There we go. Oh, love it. And this guy takes minus 13 as well. So I'll just, there we go. Awesome. Okay, is there anything else you want to do for your turn?
Zax kind of curses a bit and tries to blend in, but he doesn't do very much of a good job considering he's sort of outed himself currently. So he kind of shifts a little bit further closer to N.
Okay.
Oh. And
Floop, you're up.
Okay, well, she looks at her wound, then at Cyaces, and she starts like squeaking in anger. Oh, that is it!
Tiny little ball of rage.
Mr. Carrot!
Unicorn Spirit. Okay, the alarm stopped. Let's see if it
thank
stays
God.
off.
Oh,
I
thank
was
God.
just about to ask if you could switch like a push to
Yeah,
talk.
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm
that's
very
my
sorry
stream
about
too,
that.
my dude.
Oh, that's... Oh, God, yeah. Fuck, I
Yep,
apologize.
I was not able to do anything about it.
I forgot to mention, for if it might be worth anything, my attacks are counted as magic for the purposes of overcoming damage resistances or thresholds.
Yep.
For your astral arms or your actual punches?
All of them. My
Amazing.
my unarmed attacks, just in case magic, like if they had damage resistance to bludgeoning or force, they count as magic.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Apologies for the confusion and for the noise there. I do live in a shitty, cheap apartment where random kids will pull the alarm, and the fire department really doesn't have anything to do about that. And because we live in a shitty, cheap apartment in a bad neighborhood, the fire department will take like 20 minutes before it actually goes to check it out, under the vain and tinsel-thin hopes that maybe the building burnt down and all the poor people died with it. So
You know, as is the chagrin of villains who need to.
you know how the fire department do. So yes, now the spirit totem, the unicorn spirit, is this a concentration thing that you need to do to keep up, or does it just spring into existence?
Bonus action, and it appears.
All right,
It does
awesome.
not say bonus. It does not say
Yeah.
concentration. It's just
So-
a thing that they have.
My other totem is concentration.
Yeah.
So yeah, since it's a bonus action, can I have a movement action and a standard action.
Yes.
If I don't move, can I just do 2 actions?
I really wish that you could, but no. You can't. You can use your standard action to move, can't use your movement action to attack.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heal myself.
Yeah, go for it. Magical heal. 10 damage.
Ooh. Bliss.
Healing.
Everyone in the aura that had damage gains 6 HP.
Really?
Yep, that's
Yep.
the effect of my Mr. Carrots.
That is correct. Yeah. If you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside the aura, every creature of your choice inside the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level. So you gain 10 healing. Everybody else gains, 6 HP.
Yeah, they heal equal to her druid level, so
Yep.
6.
So everybody
Thanks.
gets 6 HP.
Thank you.
I give a nod of approval.
And since it's not concentration, it does not remove the resistance I put on Frail.
That is correct.
You gave me what? Bless?
Resistance is a d4 additional to any of your saves. One of your saves.
Ah, yes. I choose a save to pop it on.
Yeah.
D4 on. Okay, great.
And since I cannot really make any other actions, I'm gonna... if I move away from an enemy, does it make an attack of opportunity?
It does.
Only
yes.
once you leave its range.
Yeah.
So, like, you could go here and not. You can go here and not.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I
I'm just gonna stay there.
Yeah, it's fair.
Not a bad move. All right. N. It is
Oh.
Rail's turn.
Oh boy!
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
boy,
boy.
do I use the point of my channel divinity to use Conquering Presence.
Oh, shit. Exude a terrifying presence. As an action, you force every creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they become frightened of you for a minute. The frightened creature can repeat their saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. So they have to make... Oh my god, so everybody's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
Slash my fucking... my scimitar across my shield, and I let out, like, this... shrieking hiss just around me.
What's the
having
DC
seen-
on this?
8 plus my proficiency plus my wisdom modifier,
Okay.
which should be 8 plus 3, so 11 plus 2, so 13.
13? All right, let's see. Let's go counterclockwise. Let's say the guy that's closest to you boofs it. The guy that's closest to your grung friend succeeds. And then going between the 4 that are there, makes it, fails it really bad. Fails and fails. All right, so let me just go through and mark all the dudes that are now terrified. With little markers on them. He's no longer sleeping. He got hit with a flamethrower. He's awake. But he is now scared, and he is now scared, and he is now scared, and the one that was in front of you is now scared, but the 2 that succeeded were this guy and this guy.
Okay.
So those 2 orcs succeeded their saves. The rest of them are now scared, and they can remake their sort of attempts at overcoming this only at the end of their turns.
Which is next.
At the end of
Just
each of
right.
its turns, yeah. Frig.
I don't think Armor of Agathis is concentration. I'm going to double check.
I don't believe it is, no. You just
It
put
is
it on
not?
yourself.
So I reach out and I put a big ol' hand on the back of the little sticky grung beside me, and I cast
Shield
Shield
of
of
Faith.
Faith.
Nice. Concentration
So a
for 10
bunch of-
minutes.
gold scales like envelop her and like shimmer for a second and fade off.
Ooh. Yeah, they get +2 to your AC.
Yes! I'm
Protect
gonna
the
need it.
healer.
Concentration up to 10 minutes plus 2 bonus to AC for that amount of time, or I lose concentration.
Dope. All right. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. So the feral orcs. This one gives you an attack of opportunity as it attempts to flee for its life. Roll to hit.
No.
You're not gonna.
I do not. Nope.
You're not gonna take it.
Saving my reaction.
Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, he can move technically 2 more squares. So I'll send him up to the little corner up there. He's a ways out. This guy then attempts to move. Both Saisis has an attack of opportunity in this regard.
And
Doesn't Keeper with his
And
10-foot
Keeper also,
range?
yep.
With his 10-foot attack range?
You're
Well,
not he's not technically out of your range yet.
I was gonna
then.
say, like at this point, it's Saisis, and then you get it when he moves another 5 feet from you.
Okay.
Do I have a frickin'... I mean, I guess I've got a dagger.
Yeah, you could give him a little slash.
I'm gonna go stab.
Dagger slash.
Doink.
Hit him with a
If I
slash
just-
attack.
No. Okay. I can't. That's not working. Why is that not working?
Do it. Push the
Uh,
button.
I tried to push a button and it was
Push a
like,
button.
no. It's
No.
just a text because it's under the items. Where's my frickin' attacks?
Should be under your hit points, your temporary hit points, under your successes and failures for death saves.
Yeah.
It
It's
should-
above your inventory.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see
it's
There
labeled
is.
attacks and spellcasting, but the
There
label
it
is on the bottom of
is.
it instead of on the top.
That's
Yeah, all the
Very
labels at the
silly.
bottom.
oop.
A 15. Yeah, that hits. Roll for, and that's 4 piercing damage.
Yup.
Give him a little slash. As he turns to run, you slash him in the back. He moves another 5 feet, and that's you. Get him with them punches. 19 hits.
19?
10 damage. Come on. There we go. Bam. Yes, you smack him in the back as he's making a break for it. Nigel Thornberry voice slashing. Thanks, Massacre. I appreciate that. Now you only get 1 reaction a turn, as far as I understand.
That is okay.
Because then these
Right.
guys start making a break for
And-
it.
Unfortunately, she's one of those corporeal zombies that I can't punch through to hit him guy on the other side. Or
20,
banshees, not zombies.
30, 5, 10, 50. Yeah, he's gonna just like to the edge of the map. Those guys are gonna fuck right off. All right, the last 2 that are present. The one that is there is gonna step over and try to take a slash at N with a spear. Yeah. Does a 23 hit?
Sure as fuck does.
It sure
I
do.
mean, I mean, just barely though.
17 piercing damage.
And he takes 10 cold damage.
He does take 10 cold damage, this guy. Bam. He's looking pretty rough. And the other orc that's over here, I think between you guys, he's gonna step over and try to attack the turret. The spear. Does a 24 hit?
A 24 does hit.
He does 16 piercing damage to the turret.
That's fine. The turret looks like it's damaged, but it's still moving.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. Because that flamethrower sucked. Keeper, you're up.
Okay. Now I will move over. Now, question: because Floop is small, I could theoretically just punch over top of her to hit this guy, right?
You absolutely could. Yes.
Like I'm 7 feet tall. And these things, my astral arms are coming out of my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So I am going to quickly do like a backflip to land here, and then quickly spin and try and get him with the back of my fist.
Get it.
Well, chow. There's a 26 hit
Yeah, 26 hits.
for 8 force damage.
8 force damage. He's looking bad, my man. He is looking rough.
And then, with the continued momentum, I'm going to spin around and hit him with the other arm, doing like a little pirouette,
little
like double slash
Bow.
with both of my extended
Oh.
like astral arms.
15 hits. 12 force. All right. So, leaping over, You lay in a series of strikes against this guy, and he's done. The second sort of like as you spun through, hitting with those 2 hits, the second hit smashes into the side of his head. You hear like an ugly snap as his head jerks to the one side and his body falls to the ground limp.
All right. As he crumples to the ground, I spring leap here.
Oh my god!
just in a giant, like using my standing leap.
Boodaba!
With my Thri-kreen legs, I do a spinning somersault and land with a superhero landing here behind this guy who should have just attacked the turret.
Yep.
So, is flanking a thing in this?
Absolutely
Yeah.
is a thing.
Yeah.
All right, so he's at
Well,
disadvantage.
yes and no. I'm going to allow it.
Flanking would not give him disadvantage. You would get
I would
advantage.
get advantage. Okay.
Yeah, you get advantage on
good,
attacking dudes that are flanked.
good enough for me. I will spend a key point to activate Flurry of Blows to get
Oh,
two
yep.
bonus to take 2 bonus strikes against him. 26 and 24.
Yeah. 26 and 24, both hit.
All right. For 12 and 10 force
10 damage. He looks bad. He looks... That was 22 damage. He is hanging on by a thread as you lay into him.
All right. And then I still have
that
movement
does
left.
remind me. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys have to... At the end of their turn, they needed to make saving throws against being scaredy-beared.
Right.
Yep.
So
Against the 13.
I apologize for that. So just really quickly, failed it, got it, failed it, and failed it. So all right, cool.
Which one was the one that got it?
I'm just
All right.
making a note.
As I land, I quickly land a quick jab to the back of to the back of his leg, and then to the back of the head as he kind of crumples down from the first hit to land both of my strikes, and then I spring leap back up to the center of the.
Roll me some acrobatics to get up there, because that's a high that's a high place. Yeah, 17.
17.
I'll allow it.
Like,
Yeah. Technically, in 5th edition, there is actually no rules regarding flanking, but I'm allowing flanking in this system.
Okay.
Just
Which
because...
also means that also means that the enemies can flank us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
Like you guys are in a big bad spot there until until friend got real spooky and everybody scattered like fucking roaches.
All right, so,
Player
yeah.
does 26 hit DM. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, no, Monk is silly.
Land my strikes and leap back up onto the spire
Yeah.
and strike a little pose.
Yeah.
Roll me performance, just offhandedly.
1.
Cool.
Yes.
You
Maintain
pose.
his
It's
reputation.
cool. No one sees it. Everybody's
I love
focusing. Everyone's focusing on fighting. You do like this
My
awesome,
favorite.
like over here, bam, bam, flip over here, bam, bam, and then flip up top of the spire, like boom. You strike like a fucking wicked pose. No one notices.
And then like
No.
like you can hear the breeze like
Yeah,
a little leaf just does a little little loop de loop.
The one
Fucking
leaf
tumbleweed.
in the wasteland.
In the one leaf that's in the wasteland. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and yeah, Mackenzie, like, it's DM discretion for flanking. Like, some DMs are for it, and others are, like, super against it. There's actually a surprisingly small amount of rules for combat in 5th edition. But it is Saicy's turn.
It is. Saices is going to cast Dissonant Whispers. Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant. Okay, I thought you were, like, disown, and I was like, whoa.
I disown you.
Whoa.
That's steep.
So
Dissonant
you
Whispers.
have to. So if you have to, the orc has to pass a Wisdom saving throw.
What's the DC on that?
Spell DC is 15.
He did not make it, so he does take the
Okay.
7 psychic damage.
Yeah. Is this the info? Oh, look at that. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay.
So that is... Yeah, geez, really low roll. That's
Yeah.
7 psychic damage, and it books it.
All right, so yeah, the 2 + 1 + 4 because it's 3d6. So 7's not
Yeah.
great, but you cast the spell of the dissonant whispers. The orc clutching the side of its head looks at you and goes, "Whoa!" and collapses to the ground, motionless. He didn't make it, dog.
Well, it did just take 2 to like
Yeah,
2
it's like
strikes
punch,
to the
punch,
back.
and then you're just like, you're fucking, just like you ain't shit, and he's like, ah, and then falls over.
You're a fucking little Mac main.
Fucking Hanzo main.
Yeah, fucking.
Hanzo main.
He didn't even
You're
know
so
what that
right.
meant, but he took great offense to it, and it literally killed him. Words definitely hurt, everybody, just so you know, at home, clear view, get definite proof that words hurt. Is that your turn?
That is... okay, well, so now I'm a little more safe. I'm gonna kind of move up, like, right up here next to my friends, because I'm scared.
All right.
Yes, come to me. They're all afraid of me.
Get over here.
Get over here.
Can give Mom some hugs.
Oh no, my snake mom. Am I just annoyed snake mom?
Annoyed
It's true.
snake mom.
That like disheveled soccer mom who has like 7 kids, like
7 kids, takes shit from no people, and manages to somehow, to the 3rd soccer game they've been to today, bring a martini.
I'll allow this. This is
Perfect.
This is real.
Zax, you're up.
So Zach sees the 2 top people and some of the orcs scatter, and as this one to the northeast runs off, he's gonna move over here, and I gotta double check one of my spells. And measure something out.
Oh, damn.
Where
45
you
feet
going there,
he's from
bud?
you.
Yep.
What you doing there, Chief?
What you doing?
So I use my bonus action to move my my little eldritch turret up here and have it just blow flame in that direction, just to be intimidating.
You can move your turret.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I moved to here,
Oh, up there. Okay.
Yeah, so he moved and attacked.
and I'm going to cast. As it's also blowing fire, I'm going to cast Firebolt at this one.
At that guy, so it shoots like a gout of fire that streaks across the wasteland, hitting that guy. It is a ranged attack. Roll to hit. Yeah, 13 hits.
Wow. So they hit hard, but they can. They can.
Yeah, they're
Take
not.
a
They don't
They're
have good
emaciated.
AC. They are.
Yeah, they look emaciated.
They don't look nimble.
That's true.
like,
all right, so
they're-
minus 18. Jesus Christ.
Can you change that?
One of these days, there we go. So he like that the firebolt slams into him. As like all the rest of the orcs that were scared appear to be cheesing it. That one stopped and was like, "Wait a second," and turned and just like ate a face full of fire. He's still standing there, but he's like, "Ah, rah, rah, rah," like waving his arms around.
And I'm still trying to be very intimidating with my turret, like blasting flames.
Just raw. Oh, do you want to try like doing an intimidation while it's like shooting fire into the air?
Is
Is that what you're trying?
If I'm allowed to, I'll roll it.
Well, normally I would allow that for a bonus action, but you did already use your bonus.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving it to you.
Well, you know what? As just basic intimidating actions, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna. Okay.
Yeah, roll heroes. DM says whatever.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Floop, you're up.
Floop.
Floop.
I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so I'm gonna cast on Vrail.
Oh, I swear to God. Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh.
Cure wounds.
Okay.
4 healing.
I appreciate that.
+6 to everyone.
To everyone.
And then everybody
The
takes an extra 6
Does that
healing.
mean? Does that mean I get 10?
Yep.
Awesome.
And then also you Floop, because it's literally any creature you dictate within that range. You could give yourself that 6 healing as well.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna add it.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I am hurt too, okay?
I could see that. I could see everyone's HP.
Technically, that
I would also like to see everyone's HP.
Technically, cure wounds would not work on my my turret or the mecha mount, though.
Yeah, they're not fleshy. They have to be repaired.
Yeah, they have to be that or like mend.
Yeah.
That's for now. I'm just gonna focus on healing, so I'm gonna finish my turn here.
Yeah, no, his scraps are his business.
My scraps are my own business. I can deal with those.
Don't touch my junk. This junk's my junk.
Consent is important.
Consent, please.
Don't touch my junk.
All right. And Floop, is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't want to use more energy than I need, and
Okay.
people seem healthy, so I'm just gonna end here.
It is Rail's turn.
They're all pretty far away. I guess I did some decent. I was pretty effective. In that case, I will.
Oh, hold on. If I don't use oh no, I cannot ready an action because I already took it. Never mind.
Yeah, you have to spend an action to ready an action, basically. Do any of those look? Oh well, that guy's turned around. So how far away is the guy?
You
Oh,
can
perfect.
you can do like a if you want to do like a ranged spell attack on him, you can absolutely do that.
I sure do. I like.
He is
I-
100% in range.
I set my sword to the side for a second, like I just like tuck it under one arm, and I get my hands together, and I start weaving them around, and a spit of flame starts up in a freaking ball, and it starts spinning and spinning and spinning, and I just chuck it at this guy over here. And I casting.
Rasengan!
Flaming Sphere.
My god. So he's got to make DC 14 dexterity save, and he takes 8 damage. And that flaming sphere, is that half on a successful save?
Let us see. Flaming Sphere. That is. Here. I'm gonna do this.
Okay, so 5-foot diameter sphere appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. They take 2d6 on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. And then as a bonus action, you can move your sphere. If you ram the sphere into a creature, that creature must make a saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving this turn.
Yeah, it is a concentration spell, so the concentration spell I had on Flute drops, but I'm confident in that because it was just +2 to AC and nobody's around.
That is correct.
And yeah, it does look like it is half damage on a successful dex save.
Yeah, it's half damage on a successful dex save, but if you summon it, what you can do is, like, for both your action and bonus, you can either summon it in his space or summon it next to him and then ram it into him. Because he has to end his turn
then I
next
summon
to
it
it
in the space.
in order to take that thing. Yeah, so we'll just... I got a
give the
thing for it.
fucking motion, and it
Fire.
disappears from my hand, and it boom, right under him.
There we go. So you let off some fire. Let's see if he makes it. He's got to make that. He's got to make that DC 4. Fuck. He boofs it.
Big fat nope.
That's a big no. Here, let me just minus that 8 damage from him there, and then there we go. So yeah, use some of that up, and he just just absolutely goofed with fire in that moment. Do you want to do anything else with your turn?
I would like to move here.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. And let's have a look here. Okay. All right. So as this turn begins, you guys are just like lobbing fire at that one guy that dared to stop running for 2 seconds like an asshole. That guy absolutely takes off. Same thing with the rest of the orcs that are out there. They all take off into the distance.
I could easily chase them down, but I choose not to.
I choose not to.
That's accurate.
You did it. So yeah, you've killed 2 of them. The rest of them, though, just fled into the night.
Yeah, damn right.
Gibbering and screeching.
I get rid of. I unsummon the flaming sphere. Actually, no. I bring it over. I bring it over to me.
Whoosh.
Yeah. How long is it?
Zach's kind of like.
I warm up a bit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that. It is. Yeah, like if you are within 5 feet of it, you do take damage.
Is everyone okay?
Okay, well then.
I'm okay.
I'm somewhat okay. Mr. Carrots is a good friend.
It's a good friend, Mr. Carrots.
I slide down from the spire, and I land kind of next to it. And I kneel down to kind of investigate the body.
And Zax is investigating this other body.
Yeah, roll me some investigations.
Looking for loot.
I'm just looking for information, like to see what I can glean.
Okay.
3.
Well, what you get, Keeper, with a 3, he's naked.
Wow.
He ain't wearing shit. And the weapons that he's got are made of garbage. Though they were swinging him real hard. Zax, what you can tell from your side, like, again, they seem to be entirely undressed. They don't have any tribal markings on them. And despite the fact that they are somewhat malnourished, they were swinging what is effectively like the axes and spears that they had were like sharp stones that had been wedged into some sticks and tied on with like some kind of rope that is also, in not good shape. But despite this, you can definitely tell that like they have signs of malnourishment, but these were like the few that survived the harshness of living out here. You can tell that they, like from this, that these appear to be tribeless savage orcs, that they are apparently just like wandering, screaming, looting people that just run around through the wastelands, that don't have like language or anything else that might assist them in that regard.
Does it look like it had like any of the materials that they used for weapons and stuff? Do any of them look like salvageable?
No.
Nah.
I mean, it's rocks and
I
sticks.
I turn to the party
it's
and
not
say,
just rocks and sticks. It's shitty rocks and sticks. But like these were the most powerful few of any of them, because the rest of them seems to have just died off or were not strong enough to survive out here.
I have determined that they are naked.
I say, obviously.
They're
This
scavengers.
bitch ain't wearing nothing.
They're scavengers. I don't think these guys come from anywhere particular. Like that orc that you fought. I point at Keeper. He had like markings on his arms and stuff, right?
I nod.
These ones don't. I don't think they belong with anybody.
Perhaps they
live out here.
Well, yeah.
Where else would they come from?
Not anymore.
Well, okay. These ones know, but they're probably just looking to eat us because I'm pretty sure all they could do was grunt.
Well, I futz about with my torn up tent. Well, not torn up, but like fucked up tent. I try to manage it and fail.
Yeah. I walk over and I retrieve my mask and cloak from where I had tossed them.
This flaming sphere would be gone by now. It's a minute long.
When I put
flaming
them on.
sphere that's out there goes poof, disappears, and the magical spiritual unicorn goes and vanishes.
Amazing.
Vanishes in a puff of glitter.
The cannon sticks around.
Wow.
Should we try to continue our rest, or should we try to move onwards? I had only just finished my meditation when that occurred.
I don't think that they're gonna come back.
Nah, I think they're there's 2 dead ones here, and like we set that one on fire pretty good.
Yeah,
We shouldn't
Spoots,
leave
roll an
the-
investigation for me, Spoots.
All right.
Yeah, you don't think they're coming back.
Yeah, coming back.
You scared the shit out of these guys.
I scared the shit out of these guys. We should drag their corpses out away from our
Here.
campsite, though.
I will deal with that. You all should get back, maintain your rest. I've rested all I need to. I can keep watch the rest of the night.
And I don't think that they have any decent meat on them. So, yeah, just drag them out.
Does
Yeah, they
anyone
look like shit.
need? Zex turns to Vrail. Would you like some help?
With what?
With all of this, and he gestures to both Vrail and the tent.
This.
Yes, go ahead and set it up. And she takes a step back from it, watching Zex.
Okay, well, I'm gonna help you first.
What do you mean?
Well, you're cut up.
I look at my still like ice steaming scales. Okay.
So Zex wanders over to and grabs a flask out of his one of his pouches, and pours it onto a clean rag, and it looks clean, clean.
Like Zach's clean?
Like Zach's clean.
All right.
Uh,
I'll allow it.
Strangely clean goblin.
The cleanest goblin I've ever seen.
and he rubs it over some of the wounds, which do end up healing rather fast.
How fast? Pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
All right.
Nice.
All right. +6.
And then
I'm not fully healed, but I look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you guys
then-
can spend healing dice if you perform a short rest.
Yes.
And then
finish
Zax
your
goes
long
about setting up End's tent for her.
All right.
What?
Roll me
With-
survival.
With a little bit of help, like standing up a little bit higher because it is a larger tent, using his mount.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
It's like a 4-person tent.
roll
for
me
one person.
survival.
Okay.
If you need a hand, I have 10-foot reach with my. Oh,
Nat 20.
You can help if you
Wow.
want him. If you want to say you help
Yeah.
him.
yeah, I'll help
All right.
as
Yeah,
well.
give
Like
him a hand.
I got.
Put up thing. We drag these corpses out.
Well, I was gonna drag those corpses. Yeah, at some point throughout the night, I drag the corpses away from
Yeah. Kind of leave them
the
out there.
camp. Yeah.
And yeah, you get that tent set up. I don't have a sound effect for that, but you set up a tent.
Tent. Home improvement noises.
So the help action in the 5th edition is is spending your action to give advantage on a throw to the other person.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got a nat 20.
Yeah.
so
Whatever. It's
Not
rolling.
gonna get
damage.
better than that.
you can roll it again if you'd like, right?
Whatever. It's role play. I'm helping. Like
Yeah, just roleplay helping
just,
him out.
do the thing. I don't need to
I know,
roll
but I'm
dice for
saying
everything.
that you can do that during a combat as well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know that.
You'd be like, I'm going to help this person do this thing, and then that gives them advantage, which is nice.
Yeah.
The sound effect for putting up the tent is. Tim Allen would
Imagine
be
like
proud.
a sipping sound.
Tim the Tool Tam Tamer.
Tim. All right.
So the tent is now set up, and Zax gets his makes his little turret scuttle up because it's got a climb speed. It scuttles up to the top of here and just sort of chills there, like on the side of it, waiting for the next
Lying.
little
in
less
wait.
than an hour.
Lying in wait. This,
She's just gonna flop back into her bed.
this theme music playing in the background is for it.
I kind of walk up and I pick up Floop's bucket and I kind of tuck it next to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
just
examine the tent.
keep
I
it
give
close
a
to me.
nod.
Oh, keep Floop close.
I do not
I'm
let on that it was
sure that one
job
day
that I did.
me at someone with the bucket.
I go into my tent and I coil up.
alright.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that all
Um,
happened in the middle of Xyos's inactive state. So, I think she needs to finish her rest.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Yeah.
be an asshole about it. If you guys want to, like, continue your long rest, you can do that. It's not going to be like, no, someone interrupted you, you got to start over. Like, no, you can just go back to bed and get the rest of your sleep.
go
and
back
it'll be
to bed.
continued. It'll be considered one long rest.
Beautiful.
To which then, not only do you get to replenish your hit die, but you can spend some of them to give you extra HP. Because that's how
Awesome.
people get HP back, is you spend some of your hit die. Yeah. Love it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rainer. I'm glad that it sounded good. Yeah, spending hit dice is short rest. Gaining hit dice back is long rest. Either way, I'm going to allow a spend and a gain. So yes, the rest of the night passes relatively without incident. No more of the orcs try to raid your resting space, and they don't even come back for the corpses of their brethren. At least not while you guys are here, because that shit was terrifying, and these guys don't even possess the capacity for language mostly. So, big scary snake thing made them run away, and they're gonna keep doing that.
About an hour after I go to bed, a little less than it, both Keeper and Sices will notice that the little spider turret latched onto the side of that rock just sort of falls apart into bits into the ash below.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that's
as Rainer
expected.
has informed me, a long rest actually fully heals your HP and restores half of your spent hit dice.
Oh,
So-
okay, yeah. A short rest would spend a hit dice to.
Yeah. You can spend
Yeah.
hit dice on a short rest. That's my bad, because I thought that long rests only give you back hit dice. It doesn't actually heal you at all, but apparently long rest just gives you back all your HP, which is dope. So
I was literally about to look it up. I picked up my phone just to double check hit dice.
what the fuck is these rules? Yeah.
So,
'Cause-
thank you very much.
Rules are weird about that kind of stuff. You don't
Thank you.
normally get like, I've been hurt and we're in this dungeon and we're gonna sleep. Like, it typically
No.
happens after the fact.
And nobody at all is good enough at D&D to remember every rule.
Thank you for being nice to me. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the rest of the evening passes without incident, and the next morning comes. Hold on, Jesus. There we go. The next morning comes around, and you guys find yourselves out there at the edge of nothing. Do you continue to head west?
Yes.
I get out of my tent and I stretch after the worst sleep of my life. And I look at my tent and I pack it up manually. This is servant bullshit.
Flip
Right.
is just gonna empty your bucket of water, collapse it, and then turn into a wolf.
I grumble and abyssal.
Since I don't have any carry on or traveling luggage, I just I'm good to go whenever.
Yeah.
Zax takes a few moments and gathers up the little pieces of where his little spider mech, not spider mech, the cannon fell apart, and sticks it back in the bag, which was also a part of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dope.
Alright. And then we continue on our way. Unless people wanted to roleplay. No, we're good?
We're good.
Are we on our way? Everybody?
Pretty bug standard morning, like
Pretty I'm sorry, did you say bug standard?
maybe.
Okay. So I'm like, that could have been a different term that I've never heard of, buck standard morning. But I'm just like, did you say bug standard morning?
Well, the play on words was bog standard.
Ah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I've not heard that one. Bam. So, you guys continue making your way west. Once again, you find that not only is there no tracks, but you don't really see anyone watching you this time. And as you continue, the day passes without incident. You manage to make your way further along until eventually, in the distance, you see what appears to be. Actually, wait, no. At this point, you wouldn't see anything. The day passes relatively without incident, and you guys would then move into the evening in a similar way. Do you guys try to find like another sort of secluded place to sleep, and same plan as before?
Is this still miles and miles of bloody ashen waste?
Yeah, looking in every direction, it is just like from at least what you can see, it just goes on like this to the horizon. It is just wasteland as far as you can see. It is a few days travel south, the shorter end of the wasteland. It is a few days travel to get to the forest line. Traveling west, you guys are sort of moving just along through the wastes, and it's gonna be another day or two before you run into stuff. But yeah, it's relatively quiet as you go along.
Yeah. I assume we make small talk and conversation throughout the day. Little chit chat, but yeah, if nothing else happens, I'm good to make camp. Same schedule as before.
I have nothing against it, and I decollapse my bucket.
Pip-Boy Radio. No.
Zax, as we're all, hey, maybe we should find a good place again and not in the path.
Do we? Is this?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
How far is this? It's just.
And I roll survival in a good spot like last time.
Awesome.
I am in a.
You find like a wicked spot that's underneath like two outcroppings that's like fully secluded from view, and you can all fit in there.
I am eager to get out of these dead lands as much as the rest of you, but we need to continue on at a smart pace. We'll do ourselves a disservice if we overexert ourselves. It's best if we make camp as necessary.
Based on my past here, would I have a good idea as to how much longer we have left to go?
You'd think, because you've not been in this direction, but like based on how long it took you to get from the doors to the edge of the woods heading south, being about 2 days of travel, you think that heading west it's going to be about 3 to 4 days.
So I based on our travel south to the forest from the gate, that took us roughly about 2 days. So going west, I'm thinking it'll probably take something like 3 or 4.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
3 or 4 days.
Don't jinx it, Zax.
We knew this would be a long journey when we agreed to come up here.
I knew that there was going to be more than ash to look at.
Well, here, I'll show you something neat when we're settled in.
Don't
You
pay,
do understand how
like
ambiguous that sound, right, Zax?
don't pay.
It's still gonna be neat.
You gonna jingle your fucking car keys in front of me? What?
You'll see. So as we're getting settled in, and Zach's like makes a nice spot for him in this nice secluded underpass. He gets out the blue sapphire out of his backpack and holds it in one of his hands, and then gets out his walking stick that has runes engraved in it, and then concentrates and almost looks like he's drawing something out of this walking stick. What he's once he's done with that, he kind of sets the walking stick aside, and then places the sapphire down and presses it into the ash just a little bit, draws a circle around it, and then lifts his hand up over it, almost as if he's like trying to pull up something out of the ground without actually touching anything. The ash around the sapphire kind of swirls a little bit and then collects onto the sapphire,
Okay.
forming a shape, and it ends up forming into this arm and hand with half a harness that's sitting on the ground. The hand itself looks very much like Keeper's in shape. And it starts to move. It starts to kind of like look around with the hand part. And Zax just looks down, snaps his fingers once, and motions for it to come up, and it starts floating up, moves around, and then kind of sets itself on his shoulders, so that now he's got this like third bug mechanical arm hanging on him.
What the fuck is that?
This is a homunculus.
What the fuck is that?
It's a little being that I created. It's magical. It sort of waves at Frail. It's a little servant type thing. I can cast magic through it.
That's interesting. Why is it metal if it's a creature?
Cause it's not like a summoned creature. It's a made creature.
I made it up.
I don't know if I don't know how much time you spent in the city, but there are these like mechanical guys. People call them Warforged or something like that. But they're like this, and I point at the homunculus. They're not fleshy. They're metal or wood and other materials like that.
An insight of 9. What you trying to figure out?
I don't believe him.
Well, he can't do a sincerity roll, and he's not attempting to deceive you, so far as I could tell. Zax, are you attempting deception?
No.
No. Okay, so then with an insight of 9, it appears he's telling the truth.
That's weird. Tell me more.
Explain.
Okay. Hold on. Let me. And I fish around in my bag for the book because I specifically did copy down notes about Warforged while I was in the archive. So I would be able to go into like the like the initial creation of the Warforged and what their purpose was, and then all of the warnings that they ended up including afterwards because they found out that these things oh shit, these things are actual creatures and not just mindless automatons made to do your bidding like a homunculus is. So they obviously wanted to, have a will of their own.
All right, stop.
I just like this, like, explain, and he dives into it. It's like, I am bored.
You're muted, Morgan.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. As Zax pulls out his notes and starts to flip through them, Keeper walks over and gently puts his hand on his shoulder and says,
We should get to sleep. You should get to your rest. We don't want to waste any more time than we need to here.
I
just
say
love the
nothing
idea.
unless
This
unless
giant
talking
snake
the
person
rest
is
of the
like,
night.
explain this. This is like, well, okay, so, we do this and this. This is boring. Cease your
It's not necessarily
explanations.
boring, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of a video game where they start name dropping every other word, and it's the first time you've ever played this game, and you're just no, stop,
Stop.
Final
Fantasy 14.
Yeah, or Realm Reborn.
Yeah, but it's like, and then
Skyrim.
this guy, and then this thing. It's like, oh my god, shut up. Oh, I hate this.
You
So you
asked
see,
for
I'm
this.
done.
You asked for this.
I go into my tent, and unless spoken to, I go to bed. That's
Love
enough.
it.
So
Awesome.
as I gear myself up for bed with my cloak over me, I tap the homunculus harness and look over at the one hand and say, "Wake me up if anything starts happening."
Oh my god, they're all helper. Oh no.
I'm just like nestled into a bucket of
Oh wait,
water.
were you talking to the mecha mount, or were you talking to your like arm?
I was talking to the arm.
Cool. All right, so yeah, it just like you're like, wake me up if anything happens. It like gives you a thumbs up.
Picture it like the little arm robots from the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah. Oh my
good.
I
god.
just imagine like the glove reality
Worthless
something
things.
and he just bitch slaps Zax to wake him up.
Accurate.
Just
See, now I'm picturing that person that YouTuber who makes the bad robots or whatever like that, just the spinning hand wake up alarm one.
Oh, it's just like a fucking baby doll arm attached to a drill that just turned on at a certain time in the morning and just beat the shit out of that poor woman.
All right. And if everybody else is getting to bed, I'll find a comfortable spot and begin my 4-hour meditation.
Yeah. And yeah, so then you begin your meditation. Once again, the night appears. Hold on, let me just one more check. Yeah, the night passes without incident. And the dawn of your now third day within the wasteland comes upon you. Make sure to mark off any food that you might be eating while you guys are out here.
That's a good question.
I have a big case of this grubnola.
Yes.
Big sack, yeah.
Yes, you do.
I
Does
just munch
anyone
on
want a
that.
muffin?
Well, did you take flour and eggs?
I'm pretty sure I did say I brought the supplies with me.
You
to
got
make
yourself half a dozen eggs, because they do keep for about a week, outside of refrigeration, and you got your hands on some flour.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I do have the means to make a muffin if anybody would like.
I look around at the group while they're all eating, and I'm just gonna, yeah, I hold my hand over my stomach.
Mm,
Oh.
you haven't been eating, have you?
Frail did not bring food.
All I have is grubnola.
Wow.
Well, I mean, insects are not plants or vegetables, they are technically meat.
Well, yes.
Snakes eat bugs.
Yeah.
They are protein, question mark.
So technically, Rail could eat Grubnola.
But will
She'd probably have to pick. She'd
will-
probably have to.
will
she'd
Vril
probably have to just
lower
pick up.
herself
She'd
to
probably just have to
eating
pick out all the juicy grubs. That's like somebody who just picks all the M&Ms out of your trail mix. Just picking out all the good juicy bits. Just leaving me with the with the Nola. Regardless, Keeper does walk over. Keeper does walk over and offer his sack of Grubnola to N. Like, just kind of hold out the open sack.
Dejectedly, I take some. And yes, I pick at it.
Just in her head. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
After N has like the first one, and can I see her distaste for it?
Yeah, she's not hiding it.
One should not go hungry.
I can help at least a little bit with that. And I walk up and
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to make it flavorful.
Flavorful is not gonna make it easier for me to digest.
Will make this no less a blow to the ego than it already is.
Yeah.
I've got some rations.
I have these eggs. I could make some eggs.
Ooh.
Eggs would work better.
She
Probably just swallow them whole.
6 eggs.
She tries not to let on that she is much more interested in the eggs. And she just nods to Sassy.
It is a 13 in deception if anyone wants to try to overcome that with what is it?
Sense motive?
There's no more sense
There
motive.
is no sense motive. I think it's insight.
It's investigation.
Insight. It would be insight.
Insight.
It would be insight, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. That's fine. Cyaces just smiles and says, "How many would you like?"
Cyaces is getting it. Keeper's like, she's weird. Girls are weird.
Girls are...
Keeper's like, did she seriously just pick out all the grubs?
Fuck is
Yes,
wrong with people?
she did.
Oh my God.
Did just
Like,
pick out all the
I
grubs.
don't understand. I gotta be like, considerate and stuff like that, and share what you have with those around you. But
I was about to do something, but upon reading the spell, I decided not to.
I said to Cyaces, make me as many as you would offer.
Because I was looking at my spells and I was like, well, I can conjure an animal and you can eat it, but it's considered a fate, so...
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably just dissipate in my stomach.
I mean,
Keeper gestures over at the. Oh wait, no, never mind. Those are at the previous. We left the bodies at the last camp.
Yes, you did.
I mentioned that. I said, like, if you recall,
Yeah.
Vrail, in
Yeah.
character, said there's not much meat on these, and I left and
And
just
just
take
left
away.
them there.
oh,
Yeah.
it's better than going hungry, at least. Like, you gotta eat something to keep your energy up.
It depends.
Sure does.
Alright.
Cyaces looks to the rest of the group and says, "Is anybody gonna want any muffins while we're out?"
That would be very neat, but we'll keep the eggs for Rail until we find actual meat.
That's probably wise. Okay.
This is.
I've brought a bunch of rations with me, so
Okay.
I have.
I'm good for myself.
I have plenty. I
still
possess
have
plenty of
more.
grub Nola. Well, not so much the grub, just a little bit, and just a bunch of Nola.
I
Less
do
grub.
give Keeper back the Nola.
Here, I picked all the grubs out of this. You can have it back.
Here, it's better for this insect to eat, now that there is no insects in it. Vegan.
My species is not vegan.
Well.
We're entomo vegetarian. We eat bugs and vegetables. We just don't eat meat or fish or, like, birds or chicken.
Alright.
No fowl, no meat, no fish.
Okay.
Okay, so Cyaces prepares 2 eggs.
You gonna make them scramble?
Yeah, actually, I asked, how do you like your eggs?
Eggy.
You-
I
In
like
all
eggs.
honesty, you should probably
I
just eat
just-
them whole.
Yeah.
Would
I
you
like eggs.
would you prefer them raw, or would you want me to prepare them for you?
You don't need to prepare them. Just and I
okay.
hold up my hand.
Okay, Cyaces just hands her 2 raw
I
eggs.
swallow them, shell
Nice.
it all. Like I
Mhm.
just swallow eggs.
Does she do the smile? Does she do the snaky smile?
No.
Aww.
No.
You got one last game.
You ever watch snakes when they go to eat an egg or something like that? They always look so happy.
Yeah, well these are like palm-sized eggs to normal-sized people.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so this is like a little Nami little snack. That's about it, really.
That's
But
good though.
I'm rationing the rest of the eggs because we still have a little way to go. So,
If you require more energy, I can whip up some lurk.
If we can, I would appreciate.
It's not terribly nutritious, but it's got some. It'll fill you.
What's in it?
It's a complex chemical extract made from moss, mostly dried mosses, as well as grown slime.
I can't eat it.
Moss.
I only eat meat.
It's an alcoholic drink.
Well, I can't drink it. I can only eat meat.
You have drank it.
Yes,
Okay.
but it won't sustain me.
Not
I
for
had
the nutrients.
I had the worst stomach when I went home.
Understood.
That's for pleasure, not for sustenance. I would appreciate it if we could all keep an eye out on if there's any. I look around. Animals out here.
we'll keep an eye open.
Pack up.
We should be on then if we are all done our morning.
Yeah.
And
Traveling-
then rations in general, they just say rations. It can be any type of rations, right?
Yeah, it could be like jerky.
Oh, then in that case, I have 10.
Yeah, no, rations is just
Travel
like
food.
travel food.
It's usually dried or cured food, stuff that doesn't like the stuff that keeps.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys wanna share rations, you can say that some of them were dried meats, and you could like dried and cured meats that could be shared to your snaky friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna give all my meat ration to Vrail, so I'm gonna give you 5 rations out of my 10 that I have in my explorer's pack.
I take it and I give her a nod.
Yeah.
I'll put those in my backpack and eat one.
Nice.
So I have 4.
So as we're traveling, Cyaces pulls out her lyre and kind of plinks away a soft song to pass the time.
It's a sad song. Fucking banshee.
I can just see, like, as you're traveling through and you just hear, like, the soft, like, plinking of, like, a sad, listful tune. Eventually, Vrail just, like, turns around, like, oh! They threw the thing, like, oh my god!
Well, probably because it's living rent-free in my head right now, it's probably very similar to Good Riddance by Eurydice from Hades.
Fair enough.
Living rent-free in my head.
It's just so pretty, okay?
Ugh.
Like,
love that. I love it.
I find her somewhere on one of my runs and, like, just listen to her sing, and I'm just like, a tear
Yeah.
comes to my
Oh.
face. It's just
I was-
it's so pretty.
I was just about to say, I teared the first time I heard that song in that game. I teared. I literally teared up. Like I cried a
Oh.
little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
So we're on our way.
Traveling along?
I would like to keep an eye out on the road for meats as well.
Yeah. Do you want to do passive or do you want to roll for it?
That would be a survival check, wouldn't it? To look for game.
Yeah. Yeah, roll me survival.
I help her look. I just, as soon as I see her try to look for prey and stuff like that, I decide to help her.
Yeah, typically the meat's brought to you, Vrail. You're not used to looking for it. It's kind of weird. Yeah, Floop, with a 25 survival, the one thing that you can definitely say with certainty while you're out here is that there are no animals that live in this place.
No, there's nothing edible for you in this place.
That, like, going along here, it's like there's no tracks, there's no, like, signs of even dead animals, bones even amongst the rocks and ashes of the waste. Like, there's just nothing here. But as you guys are coming to the end of the third day, as you guys are traveling, at the end of your full day of travel, as you are coming along, let's see if I can find it. There it is. You do find yourselves at the edge of, surprisingly enough, a village out here in the wastes. As you can see, there's a picture of one of the orcs in the corner there. One of the gray orcs that is present out front gives you guys a wave as you approach. And yeah, the sort of the palisades, the walls surrounding the outside of it are made from what appear to be rotted, desecrated wood, where they've built a number of huts and other smaller, simple structures. The orcs that are standing around the outside, though, do notice you approaching, and one of them waves to you as you come along.
Those posts have like 4 polygons.
Yep.
Right.
Early WoW.
That's from
early
Burning Crusade.
WoW.
That is the first.
Wow, what are you talking about? They didn't go back and patch that.
Yeah, they didn't patch that up. All their new shit looks better, but yeah, they didn't go back and fix that.
All right.
You
As
are-
There are rumors about them making a major update at the end of Shadowlands for the skins of everything that they neglected. But
What's that?
I'm not 100% sure.
What's that?
Yeah.
Blizzard, there's a rumor that at the end of Shadowlands, they might reset the skin of everything they neglected in the previous expansion
Oh,
because
that's nice.
it's bringing up a lot of
Are they
new
losing money?
people, and the new player are like, "Why is this ugly?"
Yeah, no, like they want new
That
people
was
to start
great.
playing their game, and they realize that some of the earlier content, even though like the way that leveling has been like overhauled, so you can really just jump straight into the newer stuff and it's fine, but like the older content that they have still looks pretty rough because it hasn't been sort of given a facelift in a long time, so they might go back and make some adjustments. We'll see.
I know that they created the beasts and the troll in Zul'Gurub, so it's not a fest of polygon trying to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah, Tonber, you go ahead. I'll keep an eye on the chat as we're doing the stuff. Don't worry, I got it. And Quad's also
Alright.
here, so it's all good. Yeah, so you find your way to the outside. One of the orcs as you approach hails you by raising a hand and gives you a wave and approaches you. Speaking in the
How far
common
away?
tongue,
How far away are we from the thing when he comes out to meet us?
maybe 100 paces. From the front gates, he then steps out to meet you about halfway, about 50 paces from the front.
I have to say, for the travel, I mostly will become a wolf to avoid ash on my goop.
Are you a wolf as you guys approach the town?
Yes.
Okay. But you still got the little like lily flower in your hair, which is adorable.
Muted Warden.
Be cute.
He's so cute. But yeah, as you guys approach, he goes, "Hail, travelers! It is strange. We do not see much of your kind out here."
Halen Wilmot. Indeed. You probably do look like a strange bunch.
He like makes a fist and pounds it against his chest in a salute to you. He says, "We have heard of your people from beyond the Great Door. Some of our tribes have moved within the safety of your kingdom. Others still consider giving up our agency for such things. But we have seen you as you have exited the great gates. Some of us have been watching you. Some of us," and he turns around and there's like the scout, Keeper, you recognize this guy. He was the guy that was peeking at you from over the ridge, is hiding behind one of the posts that makes the gate, sort of like peeking out. some of us are a little embarrassed at their behavior.
Does that one notice me?
He does. He looks mortified to see you again.
Well, like I am wearing my mask and my cloak. Like I'm mostly hiding my insectoid form.
Yeah, you were last time.
So he would notice just this hooded figure, this featureless porcelain mask. As I see him, I hold out a hand, I hold a hand up, and I don't say anything.
Okay, hold on, let me see.
Cyathese looks over at that one and gives a little wave.
He, looking at you guys, gives you guys a sheepish wave.
That being said, when that scout saw us before, I was in my pureblood form.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not now.
Yep.
Well, you were also a lot farther away.
He got a 15. He's managing. He's holding it together. He's keeping it. He's keeping it together out here.
My extra arm waves.
And he turns his attention back to you, the orc that's met you part way out to the gate. He says, "There are many tales of some of you coming out of the kingdom to do certain actions or go on adventures or some such. So, as you've made your way to our village, I ask you, what is your business out here in the wastes?"
Go ahead.
Can I make an insight check just to kind of see how genuine he's being?
Yeah, go for it.
Try and see if he's trying to be deceptive. 25.
25. He just wants to know what you're doing. Like, he's just trying to make sure you're not there to kill them or cause some kind of ridiculousness or literally be all the terrifying things that people rumor you to be.
Okay.
We are looking for a way to get to the island that is past the mountains to the west.
The guy sort of scratches his chin. What was that?
I kind of pad my pockets and then turn to Floop.
Do you still have that map?
The wolf just looks at Keeper, then she takes back her grung form. Sure, I have them. And I pull up my maps.
This giant fuck you wolf turns into a small frog.
In a box.
I take
the orc as you shift back into a grung and then go and start rummaging through your bags, looks down and eyebrows up, looks down at the grung and goes, shit. But that's it.
As Floop produces the map, Keeper kind of points on it to the island, to the island off the west coast, and just kind of points at it.
Yeah, he furrows his brow looking at the map and goes, yeah, I can't read. So you'd want to talk to the chief.
Okay.
He's just like, yeah, I can't read.
Can't even read pictures.
Typically not, no. He doesn't know how to read maps. He doesn't know what north is.
It just looks like a bunch of blobs and squiggles to him.
It's just shapes. He's not really well versed in the world beyond the wastelands. But he does sort of say that he's not super familiar. He's like, but the chief might know more about this if you would be willing to accept our hospitality in exchange for peace.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, go for it.
Does my previous insight check still apply?
Yeah, I'll let you carry the 25.
I have been staring at him unblinkingly the entire time with my arms crossed, and I am very large. So
yeah.
I get it.
You can Keeper. You can tell he's definitely being genuine.
Okay.
He just wants to make sure there's no trouble, and he's basically offering you guys food and shelter and information in exchange for you keeping the peace and not starting a fight.
I nod to him and lead the way.
Very well. Follow me. We will speak with the chief. And he turns and leads you into the village. And that is where we will call game today.
We found a nice place with nice people.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill it just yet.
Just yet. Hooray.
And people in my chat were people in both chats were oh, well, they didn't just go directly to the mission. And I thought to myself, the reason why I decided yeah, maybe we shouldn't just go directly there. It's because that seems like a hell of a lot bigger of a fucking deal than we can just go and immediately do.
And it's also on the opposite side of the continent.
Yeah. And I don't
the
humans to get there.
the living mountains seem to be the closest.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's like the B team sort of made a beeline for their main mission because that had a sense of urgency to it. Like there was a timetable on what they were doing, whereas you guys aren't. Like you guys have things that you want to do, but there's no pressing necessarily timetable on any of those things. Yeah, like at least not to your knowledge, or not at this juncture.
Yeah.
So if you guys were like, let's go to the island first, let's go that way, I was like, sure. I'm not gonna lie, I did have some content prepared for when you guys made it to the woods, and you didn't do that. So like that's what happens sometimes when you're DMing.
I apologize. I wasn't expecting everybody to go here right away. I was just making a point that hey, I need to go here at some point. Everyone's like,
no,
sure,
it's fine.
let's go that.
Your voice mod's still on. But
I'd rather go to places that are closer and hope to gain some stuff to be able to survive when we arrive at the big bad place.
And honestly, it was also Vrail's idea to use it as kind of a test to see how well we could all do.
Not only that, but like I personally prefer D&D games that allow players that sense of agency, so that like if they're like, yeah, there's this thing going on in this place that we definitely like, there's a dungeon we definitely want to check out over there, but there's this other thing over that way that I want to check out as well. Like you can just go that way and the DM's not going to punish you for it. Like I don't believe in doing that. Like if I let players do whatever and then the world has consequences based on their behavior. But like I'm not gonna get mad at you for not like taking the right road instead of the left, and then being like, well, no, you went right, and so now fucking ogres attack you. It's like, no, just you go that way, like whatever.
You go that way.
Ogres.
The king rises slowly out of the hot spring.
Yeah, tell me about your dagger with a +1 against ogres. There's Jessica.
I got an ogre slaying knife because of +9 against ogres.
God damn it. But that is our game for tonight. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out. Thank you again to Planthir for the donations to both myself and Spoots. Yeah!
So much fun.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you. Big thanks to Planthir and everybody else. Thank you so much for coming out to watch our show here. Thank you for all your bits. Thank you, Kara. Your views and donations, bits and subscriptions, all the support you've been giving to myself and Spoots. It means just the absolute world to us. And thank you as well to all the lovely players that we've got here going down the list. We got a Cassie D20 Love Chew playing Siaces, our Banshee board.
Wow, it's me.
It's
Thank you
you.
for having me. I'm always so happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got, of course, a Spooty Poots playing Envril Olo, our UNT Abomination Paladin.
That's me.
Who still doesn't, and folks still don't really know what my secondary class is.
Cross-classing weirdo. We've got KC, the Killing Chick, playing Floop, our Grung Druid.
Hello! I heal with sparkles, sunshine, and kisses.
I love how rainbow you are in all of this. It's my favorite. And of course, we've got Warden playing Keeper, our Thrycreen Monk.
Thank you for having me.
And last but certainly not least, we got Shaskar playing Zax Triar, our Goblin Artificer.
Now Zax gets to give people 3 thumbs up.
Oh, I love it. And we will see you all again next time. I have been your DM this evening, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terawat. We will see you again next Thursday for more D&D with the B team. End of line.
I love you all. Good night.
Bye. Bye.